Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. See, I was driving over the moon in my big hot air balloon, floating high into the darkness. I hope I get there soon. There's so many things to do, so many people I need to talk to, and they've all been waiting for me. Well, I gotta make it through. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam today. Thank my stars for every green. You have no idea what it means. No, no. To a man who's always traveling, who's seen the things that I've seen. I don't know what's yet to come. Not sure of anything that I've done really makes that much difference. Well, I hope it has for some. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam today. Well, I was driving over the moon in my big hot air balloon, floating high up in the darkness. I promise that I'll make it to you very soon. Something special happened today.
What's going on? What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We in here. We in the building. Getting it going. Getting it started. Getting it going. Getting it started. We will be joined by our special guest pretty soon. I just sent him the link, so she's going to be joining us pretty soon. Going to be joining us pretty soon. We're going to be talking about mental illness among Black people and how much of it that we just write off as just nigga shit. It's a lot of stuff that we probably just write off as nigga shit, but it's probably some undiagnosed mental illness in our community that we just writing off as nigga shit. Y'all already coming with it. I embrace it, bring it on. You can call me Pastor Bernard. Nah. This ain't youth pastor. Youth pastor. I just play. The youth pastor, the one that don't wear the tie and wear a little more colorful suits. Well, I take that back because those preachers at the mega churches, they do be having on they be wearing some pretty colorful suits. They be more colorful. They be colorful, flamboyant, and zesty up there in the pool pit nowadays. But as usual, as always, shout out to the early bird squad, those that made it into the building bright and early. Who else we got in here? Unfortunately, this is a serious problem in the U.S. that needs to be fixed. Absolutely. D-Rock Den in the building says, good morning, Bernard. Got the Mac the Trucker. What's going on, the Mac the Trucker? Jesse. I don't know why I always say, I think a comedian on Def Comedy Jam was talking about Jesse Jackson. And he's calling him Jesse. I think that's why I say Jesse like that. But Jesse... whoever creates and after recommends Black counselors can make some bank. Damn, good idea. Sir Tice in the building says, good morning, everyone. Let's see. I'm looking at shit, make sure I got shit going right. LaShawn H, good morning. Sir Tice, I believe this is going to feature the homie Counselor Murray. Ding, 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 ding. Good answer. Had to hit you with the Family Feud. Good answer. Counselor Murray is an actual counselor. Yes, he is. I thought that was just his YouTube name. But no, he's actually legit. He's actually legit, and we will be joined by him momentarily. Actually, he's in the queue right now. Body Thug in the building. Jesse once again. That could be a gap in the market that needs to be filled, in my opinion. Yep, absolutely. Mark Lindsay, see people coming on in here. We almost got 100 people in here. Hit that like button on the way in. I don't be posting that as much no more, reminding y'all to hit the like on the way in. I don't be even using my scroll through stuff again. Y'all see it. Welcome to the Grown Man Hour. Welcome. Let's see. Who else we got in here before we bring up Counselor Murray? We got Aaron B in the building. What's going on? My man Kenny Conjo in the building. Thursday morning greetings, Bernard Riley and everyone. Have a blessed one. Thank you very much for that, Kenny Conjo. Chief BD in the building. Chief BD is in the building. What's going on? Who else we got in this bad boy? I see you, Mace Taggart. You always say Bernard Riley, morning mega star. You look and sound. That's a good one. That's a good one. Haven't heard that one. Never heard that one. That's how I know I need to lose some weight. I got called. I be getting called them offensive linemen. Y'all can call me linebackers. I don't mind getting called, compared to or saying I look like a particular linebacker, strong safety. And y'all keep pinning them offensive linemen on me now. That's how I know I need to lose some weight. Oh shit! All right. Without further ado, man, we're gonna go to Counselor Murray. Man, y'all be killing me, man. Y'all be killing me with the jokes. Y'all be killing me. But all right, let me get. Here it go, right here. Actually, I got Got my earpiece right here. I might start using my headsets. I don't like them, especially when you get dressed up nice and you got the big clunky headset on. It just don't look right. But this damn thing don't look right either. I thought it was gonna be clear, but it's just oh shit, it blends in perfect today. Okay, cool. Y'all can't even see it today. Perfect. All right, problem solved. Wear a white shirt every day. All right, cool. Well, without further ado, let me remove this thing that y'all can't see me removing, but I have to remove it every day. And all right, and here we go. And then we didn't even speak behind the scenes before things got started here, so hopefully the sound and everything is. Damn it, the sound and everything is on point. Taking care of a few things really quick before I bring him up. He said, "Cool suit bell rug." Yeah, I be clowning. I got to get out the comments so I can just get on with the show because y'all gonna have me thrown off. All right, without further ado, bringing in Counselor Murray in the building. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Bernard? You can hear me?
Yeah, oh yeah, you coming through loud and clear.
All
Loud and
right,
clear.
cool.
Loud and clear. Glad to have you here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Long time coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we was planning this for a while. Had to get all the wires crossed and get everything right with your schedule, but we finally making it happen here.
Yes, sir.
Where you from?
Well, I'm from my
Where you
parents
live
were,
now?
huh?
Yeah, I mean where you at right now?
Oh, man. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, yeah, I don't know why I assumed that. You probably
Yeah.
told me, I just forgot. But okay, yeah. So you in Atlanta doing your thing. How long you been a counselor?
I've been licensed or just professional.
Licensed,
I've been licensed for
professional.
2 years now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what's up. How does that work? Even being unlicensed doing it, like
I mean, you can still do, therapy, but you got to do underneath somebody who has a license. So now I'm
okay,
like at first I had to be underneath somebody, but now I can, do my own thing kind of
okay,
thing. I don't need to be underneath another counselor because
got
another
you.
counselor will hold the liability of my clients if anything happens. So now I have full liability and, stuff like that.
Okay, so it's like full self-employment. Got your own practice opened up, everything like that,
Yes,
or
sir.
no? Okay, yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's pretty cool. Most of your clients and patients are, I presume, I'm assuming, black.
We in Atlanta.
Yeah. You in Wakanda. You in Wakanda. I guess
Yes,
so.
sir.
Okay, all right. It's interesting because when we was first talking about doing this show on this, the idea and the thing that came to my head is that it's so much stuff that we talk about with black people, all the crazy shit that they're doing, crazy shit that they got going on, and we just be writing it off as just nigga shit. That's what we call it. And I was sitting there thinking after me and you exchanged a few emails, I was like, man, because some of these motherfuckers are probably mentally ill out here.
A lot of them.
And we just writing it off as they just doing random nigga shit, but no, I mean, so it's some undiagnosed mental illness going on. So just talk about that just at the base ground level, just get us started. Like what are you finding out in the field, so to speak, as far as undiagnosed mental illness?
Okay, so the type of therapy, you got when people think of therapy, they think of like individuals coming to your office, sitting down, one on one, talk therapy. The therapy I've been doing for the last like almost 10 years has been community based therapy. So there's a whole division called community based, which is individuals who are below the poverty line. Their socioeconomic status is not high, so they don't really have transportation. They can't really afford a real therapy session. So Medicaid and the government funds mental health services to the community. So they'll hire an agency who I work for. They'll send us out into the community to do therapy right at the home of these individuals.
Mm.
Yes. So what I do is I go into the community. So I'm dealing with um, patients who, they live on their own, but, they're dealing with bipolar, schizophrenia. Um, I would see kids who deal with ADHD, true ADHD, not, it's ADHD is one of the most diagnosed, um,
Misdiagnosed, or do you mean?
misdiagnosed. There it is,
Yeah.
misdiagnosed. Disorders. So I deal with kids and adults who are dealing with depression, and
Well,
most
hold on,
of
wait, real quick before you even
yeah.
go into that, I want you to really break down and explain a little further by real ADHD,
Oh yeah.
like explain, because one of my sons was misdiagnosed with it.
Uh huh.
Actually, he just his tonsils were too big or something that was preventing him from sleeping. Well, he was sleeping, but he wasn't getting to the certain realm of sleep. Wasn't necessarily REM sleep, but it was something I forgot. It was years ago. I mean, he's 17 now, so he was a little kid when it happened. So I forget some of the details at this point. But he wasn't getting fully to sleep because it was affecting his breathing. He wasn't able to fully sleep, and he wasn't able to get to the realm of sleep where you can recollect your thoughts and
That
remember.
REM, that they call REM.
Okay, so good. So it was REM. Okay, so my memory is I guess it's coming back now. But yeah, so that's the part of the sleep where you keep the stuff that you need to remember. You throw away the stuff you don't need to remember. That's an important area of sleep. You can't even retain information properly if you're not getting to that realm of sleep. So he was at school just all over the damn place because he wasn't So then they misdiagnosed him with that, and we figured out eventually that it was he had to do a sleep study on him, and then we found out what it actually was.
Okay.
So that was one personal thing that I that where a misdiagnosis of ADHD was affecting me. But when you say real ADHD, how does it manifest differently from all the misdiagnosed versions of ADHD, so to speak?
Well, I mean, if you, the school system, you're dealing with a teacher who's dealing with like 30 kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's packed, especially in public school.
Yeah.
So if a kid, all kids learn differently. You got kids who learn visually. You got kids who need hands-on. You got kids who can read and retain information on their own. So the standard of uh, teaching in America, in the Western world, is basically memory based and to sit down, be quiet, and listen to your teacher. So
Mm-hmm.
any kid is being a little disruptive. The teacher can't just, give that kid all the attention that the kid needs. So what happens is a lot of times teachers will just kind of, okay, you're disrupting the class. I can't teach the other 29 kids, so we're just gonna send you to the school psychologist and see if we can get you diagnosed with something so you can leave the class, and we put you in a more contained area of the school where you're not as
Special
disrupted.
ed. You sound like you're talking about
There you
special
go.
ed.
There you go. Now, a child who really has ADHD, you won't even be able to be around them for more than 5 to 10 minutes. Like these kids, they're doing. I mean, they're doing backflips. They can't sit down.
Mm.
Um, they're not paying attention to nothing you're saying. You got to prompt them and try to get them to do a task a million times. And they'll just irritate you. I've had kids in sessions that I almost walked out sessions like this kid. He just doing too much. He's back flipping on the couch. He's hugging the dog over here. You ask him a question about his anger, he's talking about Power Rangers or something. That's
Well,
real true ADHD.
what percentage would you say has really truly has it like that though?
Who truly has ADHD?
Yeah, has it like to what
At
you're
that point,
describing? What you're describing sounds like not just that kid who's just a little active or don't want to
yeah.
listen, or it sounds like what you're describing sounds like a real problem. How many of them have a real properly diagnosed ADHD?
ADHD. I would say, out of all the cases that I've been put on to counsel kids with ADHD, maybe about, let's say if there's 100 kids, I would say about maybe 15 really had it.
Mm.
Like to the point where, oh, he definitely can't be in this classroom, you know.
But all 100 of those kids was taking some type of medication, though.
Not all 100, but
Okay.
you know, because when they're too young, they really can't. But you know, we always try to do therapy first. We'll try the
Right.
therapy. If it doesn't work, then we'll move the meds. So I would say about 50% maybe of those 100 were on
What
some type of medication.
what percentage would you say the medication actually helps?
Percentage wise, the medications they put these kids on, um, some of them, I would say 85 to 90% of the time they get it right. You know, they get it right.
That's when the
But
diagnosis is properly diagnosed,
yeah,
and
when
then
it's
put them
properly
on the right
diagnosed.
medicine. Then you said about 90, 85, 90% of the time it works. Problem is that they're being misdiagnosed, or and then still getting put on the medication. That's
Correct.
okay. All right, real quick. Black Wolf Inc. This came through with a super chat. Appreciate that. He says, "Oh, Captain, my Captain, what's good with you? Shazam, bitches, Shazam." Echo effect. You know I ain't got no echo box, man. You know I ain't got it. But who else we got in here on the super chat? Y'all hit that like button. Haven't even checked on the likes. I gotta keeping an eye on y'all right here with the tablet. I gotta pull that up. But why are they diagnosing our boys with it? Oh yeah. This a question show,
Good
y'all.
question.
Super chat those questions. Get those questions up here, because I probably won't think of every question that need to be asked, but there's so many good questions to be asked. So he asked a pretty blanket question. Why are they diagnosing our boys with it? I think he may mean, why are they diagnosing black boys with it more than other boys? Do we just got it more? I mean,
It's a cultural thing.
mm,
Um, black. First of all, we're coming from an environment from our homes. You know, like I said, I do community therapy, so the homes are already dysfunctional at this time. You know, you got, a lot of homes I go to, single moms, and it's mom works, kids kind of just all over the place. A lot of energy, a lot of the diet has to do with a lot of it. You know, we feed our
mm,
kids a lot of sugars and a lot of processed foods that kind of manifest into their behaviors when they get to school. But then you have the cultural difference with our boys having more testosterone than the other races in society. So we're going to be more active. We're going to be more just more what's the word? We're going to be more active. We're going to be more like I said, it's kind of like I said, it's kind of just more of it's just two different two different communities coming together in the school, and you got most of the teachers are that diagnose our boys with this ADHD, or most of them that send our boys to the psychiatrist are mostly white, white female teachers who just can't handle young black boys in their class. So, like I said, the easiest way to get that kid out of your class is to classify him. You see what I'm saying? You classify him. You get the psychologist to write a report stating how disruptive he is, put him on a meds, put him on some type of medication, and now he's out of the classroom. Now you
mm,
can teach your class without the disruption.
mm. All right. I interrupted you and wanted you to elaborate on the ADHD thing. Do you remember where you was at before I
Yeah,
jumped
yeah,
in on
yeah.
you?
Where was I at? Question came in. We were talking about the was it the medication? Was it the
um,
yeah?
I don't know. You sound like you were just talking about, just you just speaking just in general about what are you seeing out
Oh,
there on out in the field? You know, you're talking about how you're going to houses and this or that, and just you're just speaking generally about what you
yeah.
feel, and you just casually mentioned ADHD, and then I was like, whoa, stop right there. We gotta we gotta talk about that one because
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
back to ADHD. Like I think we're talking about the medication, if it works or not.
Hmm.
Some of these medications will turn clients into zombies.
Oh,
I'm telling you, if they on a high dosage, of course your child will be behaving in school because he's so doped up, and he's over there drooling in the corner because he's just they shoved all these medications into him. So there's a lot of side effects with those too. So definitely, to the parents out there, be careful. If a doctor wants to prescribe medications at a young age, 5, 6 years old, that's too young to be taking some medication. That could just be him need your young child just needing to grow out of those behaviors. We don't
yeah,
want to. We don't want to. Most mental health is just your brain. The way your brain is made up, and the chemical deficiencies in certain areas. The medicine just kind of fulfills those areas. You know, and if it's
mm,
too high, it kind of it'll dope you out.
mm. So like, what are you seeing? I mean, I take it you work with adults too.
Yes, sir.
So what are you seeing with adults who got issues out there, mental illness, diagnosed or undiagnosed? What are you seeing out there?
With adults, yes, I work with a lot of them. A lot of them are dual diagnosed. You know,
What did that mean?
especially
Dual diagnosed.
that means they have a substance abuse disorder and a mental health disorder. So they're
Oh,
self-medicating.
mm,
So instead of in African American community, we don't go, we don't reach out for help. We don't, we think mental health is taboo a lot. You see why, a lot of times we don't get, mental health is seen as weak. Mental health is seen as just crazy, in our
yeah.
culture. So sometimes we don't seek it out, and sometimes we don't have the funds to go get the proper mental health treatment. So a big thing has to do with mental health. Even though in the Eastern world they had mindfulness, they had meditation, but the mental health we deal in America is more westernized. So ADOS community, we don't trust Western medicine. A lot of us rarely go to the doctor. We don't trust the pills they giving us, and this all comes from all the different experiments they've done on us in the past too. So when you say somebody has a mental health disorder, we don't trust that diagnosis, those doctors. We rather go, let's go to the church. Let's
Oh
go
my
see
goodness.
the
Yeah.
pastor.
Yeah,
let's
he'll
get
be
the
trying to pray away shit. Like,
yeah, yeah, let's pray the demons out of us.
yep,
We rather,
yep.
we rather deal with the church, or we rather try to deal with it our own, or we rather try to take a substance. I mean, in the black community, I think everybody might be on a substance, man. I mean, we got we need alcohol, we need to. Some people do the weed thing, A lot of that stuff a lot of that stuff is self medication at times. Now, when you go overboard, that's definitely self medication. You
Hmm.
know, um, just due to all the trauma and the past trauma. Um, so, like you were talking about undiagnosed, there's a lot of undiagnosed bipolar and a lot of undiagnosed depression.
All right,
And
wait, time out. That undiagnosed bipolar. I'm gonna what do you call it? Well, I'll give my unprofessional, unclinical, unprofessional, uncertified opinion.
Mhm.
Black women got the most undiagnosed bipolar in the universe. Is that correct?
uh, I can't state that right now. I mean, there's some research on it.
You can't state that because I said the universe, and you don't know if the aliens are bipolar or not. But on Earth, on
Hey,
Earth,
bipolar. It's funny because bipolar is almost on the same spectrum is ADHD at times.
Oh, okay.
Being misdiagnosed. Because bipolar. You got bipolar 1 and bipolar 2, right?
Okay.
So bipolar 1 is more severe than bipolar 2. Bipolar 1, okay, bipolar 2 is you go into a major depressive um, episode, which means you're feeling hopeless, suicidal thoughts,
Mm-hmm.
um, lose interest in things you
Yeah.
like what else? Uh, don't really you withdraw, you isolate yourself, right? But
Mm-hmm.
then the mood switches because of your brain, your chemicals. It switches, and then you go into a manic stage. But in bipolar 2, it's called hypomanic. It's actually not as severe as manic. It's less. So it's okay. You're not spending all your money and going to buy some random car. You know what I mean? But you're buying uh Gucci bags, and you just buying a lot of stuff you can't afford, really.
Mm.
Now bipolar 1 is the more extreme. That's like, of course, you got your major depressive episode, and then all of a sudden you go into this grandiosity. You feel like you're on top of the world. You're going to try to buy a Rolls Royce. You're just doing all this off the wall stuff. Like you probably going to swinger parties. You're having all this sex with different people out of nowhere. You're
Whoa, hold on. Yeah, I was with you, and then you giving people a medical diagnosis because they like to have sex. I mean,
I mean, when something becomes harmful, I mean, you're going.
okay.
I mean, that
You're
is
just saying
fine.
if somebody is just engaging in just reckless, dangerous sex.
Dangerous sex. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
raw
Like
sex.
random people you don't know. I mean, this is what the community's coming to, though. This is why I'll say it's a lot of undiagnosed. It's coming to the point where you got. Hey, I'm gonna bring her up. Cardi B. She's a
Mm-hmm.
prime example. I would say she's bipolar 1. You know, it
Yeah,
seems like she goes through these mood changes. She's down, she's sad, and then when she gets into that manic stage, she's she's drugging people and taking their money. I mean, they when they get into that manic stage, they do criminal activity. They do a lot of stuff that could put
oh,
them in jeopardy of the law or death. You know
hold
what
on.
I'm
So
saying?
there's a stage of bipolar that increases the chance that you're going to commit crimes and break the law.
Yes, sir.
See, that I never thought about. I always just looked at it as just weird, just mood swings. Like a chick, she might be with a dude and
Hmm.
his ad is she chasing him with a knife at 1 minute, and then 5 hours later he come back and she cooking dinner and acting like ain't nothing ever happened. Like that's what I
Hey,
always looked at it. Well, chasing him with a knife, that is a crime, but like
yeah.
I didn't even think about it like that.
I
Well, yeah,
mean,
but
if you sit down with her for a while, she might have that diagnosis. You gotta do an assessment and find out. That's why when you meet people, you gotta we so undiagnosed that we're just getting with people and not even knowing what's really going on with them.
yeah,
And they
man.
and they think it's normal because maybe because a lot of mental health is hereditary. So they grew up.
Yes,
Yep,
that's what
they
I'm.
grew
Yeah.
up in their family seeing these actions. They imitate it, and they think this is just normal. Like recently, I was in a household. It was a mother and daughter, and they were. I was on a family session, and they're just screaming at each other the whole session, cursing, bitch, hoe, this, that, and the third. Yeah, and I'm like, wait a minute. Do you guys say good morning to each other when y'all get up? Like, is there a how you doing, or do you get up yelling? They both said they just get up yelling. That's
Yeah.
dysfunction.
Yeah, wait, hold on. We're gonna get back into that, and I
Yeah.
like the idea of you giving your diagnosis of certain celebrities. We're gonna get Kanye in here in a little bit and all
Oh
that.
man.
But real quick, Aqua Dragon 88. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. He says, "How you feel about Ritalin and how does it affect people?" Before you answer that one, we're gonna We're gonna make sure you answer that one because I do want all the questions to get answered.
Yeah.
But we're gonna knock this one out real quick. Black Wolf Inc. He says no BS. Going to the spa would be a huge help. Your muscles has years worth of stress stacked together, and you need to get it loosened for easy relief. Easy relief. Is that related to mental illness or something? I just looking at it as physical. I don't think that'll mentally soothe somebody with an actual problem, right? Or no?
Well, I would say mental health symptoms do manifest into physical challenge of problems. So
Mm-hmm.
like somebody with major depressive disorder, they're so stressed and so depressed that they start getting muscle aches. So
Mm.
definitely, he's definitely right about that. Going to the
Okay.
spa, relaxing your muscles is a great coping skill for depression.
Oh, okay. Just all right. Yeah, gotcha. Indigenous TV in the building with a super chat. Thank you very much for that. He says they tried to give my niece pills last year at school for being
Difficult.
difficult with quotation marks. He says I had to go behind my sister's back and turn up. I told her white teachers if they medicate her, I'm coming back with my gun. Goddamn, true story. Peace. Wow,
Hey,
wow.
he advocated.
Yeah.
Might need to
Hash,
chill with the gun talk though,
hashtag protect black women and girls. All right, you got it, man. You got it.
man.
All right. That question about Ritalin that I forgot who asked it, but the question
uh,
about Ritalin, yeah, go ahead and tackle that one. That was Aqua Dragon. Go ahead and answer his question.
yeah,
If you
Ritalin. You got Adderall, Ritalin. It's a psychotrope medicine used to kind of slow your impulses down,
mm-hmm.
and help you concentrate. I haven't heard no bad things about Ritalin actually in the field. Everybody who's used it or had their child use it, they've never came to me. I never had one person come to me with any bad results from it or bad side effects. And it's been on the market for a while, so I assume that it's one of the top medications for ADHD. And it's funny because when I was in college, there was this Pakistani kid who I was cool with, and he used to try to give me some Ritalin, Adderall, and say, he used to pass his tests and stuff like that. So they're passing this stuff out at colleges right now, just as a
Oh, yeah, I
class.
saw a documentary. I saw a documentary on Netflix about that where it
Uh,
that yeah, but they got to be on that shit to take their test. In other
yeah,
words, yeah.
yeah, they over there selling them pills, man. I'm telling you, on them Adderalls, Ritalin, and like I said, he tried to give me one. I was like, nah, I'm good.
Goddamn. Shit. Where was we at?
Oh
We
yeah,
mentioned you was talking about you was giving your
oh
diagnosis
celebrities.
of Cardi B.
Hey,
Did you wrap that up and you got more on that one?
I got man. Listen, man. The mental health community is one of the most exploited communities. In America. Like, look at Cardi B, right? Not
Mm-hmm.
and listen. You talked about Kanye West too, right?
Yeah,
So
well, I'm
when
gonna hit
they're
up Kanye in a second.
okay, when these individuals are in their manic stage, they are when people in bipolar when they're in their manic stage, they are super talented. They're super creative because there's nothing holding them back. So whatever fear they had um, of creating something or doing what they want, they're just gonna do what they want because they're in this manic stage. So that's why a lot of artists and a lot of celebrities are have a mental health diagnosis that we just don't know about. A
Mm.
lot of them have learning disabilities. A lot of them, like I said, got you got Robin Williams. He was bipolar. He killed himself. I mean, you got a lot of individuals who have these mental health diagnoses, and people take advantage of when they're going through an episode because that's when they're the most creative. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
So, and a lot of them do drugs too because drugs is self medication, and drugs enhance the creative, enhance their creative mind and their talent.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had a client once, right? He was about 23. He was he had bipolar. He was homeless. So he was young, but he was homeless. And I went to see him in the community, and he was in this like abandoned building or shelter down in downtown Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, who's housing you? I mean, what's going on over here? So you remember years ago they had the Occupy Wall Street movement?
Oh yeah, I talk about that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. So Occupy Wall Street, the people who were funding that were housing these homeless and mental health clients, and they offered them shelter, they offered them food, and guess who put them on the front line out there in them parks? A lot of them were mental health, and a lot of them were homeless people out there, protesting.
What?
I'm telling you, I went there and I said, he was like, I'm the 99%, and I was like, what? They exploited him.
That's funny shit. They went there and just gassed up somebody who got a mental issue and got him out there holding a sign. I thought them people looked crazy.
Pretty much, man. They gave him food, they gave him shelter, and I mean, if you give somebody basic needs, I mean, they're gonna do what they're gonna do what you say, you know.
Man, that's wild. That is wild. Uh,
Yeah.
let me
Do you have that? Speaking of that, basic needs and stuff. Do you have that
Yep,
Maslow's pyramid?
I was trying to pull it up right now.
Oh yeah, you on the same page?
Yep. For some reason it's acting kind of slow. There we
Mhm.
go. All right, let's see if I can get this properly shared. Let's get rid of that. Hold on. If I can get this properly shared, then we'll be in business. Give me a second.
No problem. Let me see here. I can pull it up.
No, I got it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. This is my favorite chart, man. I love this thing.
Yeah, let me see if I can get it. Wait, no, I don't want to completely move us off the screen, but if I can get a little zoom action. Wait, hold on. That's not zooming it like I want to. Wait a second.
Mhm.
Wait a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. Where is it? Where is it? Right there. There we go. Now I might be doing too much. I guess is that good enough? You can see that. You can work with that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
All right, so wait, you can make it a little smaller. I can't. Well,
I overdid it. I think it was probably fine from the start. I probably didn't need to do nothing. Hold on, give me.
Yeah, it was cool. Okay. All right.
Just wanted to make sure
So
people could see it.
Maslow was a psychotherapist, doctor from Germany, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Germany? Was he from Germany? It's funny because at the same time the Germans and the Austrians were developing like nuclear weapons and rocket science. You know, in the beginning of those stages, they're actually working on psychology as well at the same time. Like Freud and Algerian, got his name, but a lot of modern day Western mental health started from them. The Germans and stuff, Austrians and the Jewish. Okay, but Maslow came up with this chart right here.
Real quick before you get into that, because I don't got
Yeah.
my phone on me, but people sending me cash apps. I just looked at my email, so I see D-Rock Den sent the cash app. He says for the important topic needed to be had. I hope I got the. I'm only reading half of that. And also, Mr. D's 1117. He says for the Jack Daniels Fund. Thank you for those cash apps. Yeah, I can see I see the cash app scrolling across the screen. I think Dane just dropped the Cash App in the chat, if I'm not mistaken. I think he may have. Oh yeah, there you go. Y'all know how to find the Cash App. Thank y'all for those Cash Apps. I didn't mean to leave them hanging for that long, but yeah, I don't got my phone on me. I had to just check my email. Normally the phone ring, make the Cash App ring during the stream. Y'all know how that go. But yeah, normally the phone ring, but I don't got my phone on me. It's upstairs, and I ain't getting up to go get it. So, but anyway, carry on with the. Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt because he's about to go
Good.
in,
Good.
pretty good on the pyramid here. But go ahead, you got it.
Like I was talking about the undiagnosed in our community. See, we are our community is the most susceptible to mental health, just due to our environment and due to um, systematically being racism misplaced from getting our basic needs and making it hard for us to get our basic needs. You can't fully even get into a therapeutic mind frame and actually start healing until your basic needs are taken care of. And Maslow came up with a chart that kind of described this. Now, when you're looking at this chart, you got your basic needs, your psychological needs, and your self-fulfillment needs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where is ADOS right now? Where are we usually at?
We
On this pyramid?
we got food, water, warmth, and rest. Security and safety. I would say we got that, even though some would argue otherwise. Um, Intimate relationships and friends. We got a lot of frenemies, but okay. Prestige and feeling of accomplishment. That part is that part is shaky depending on the individual.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's where I mean I'll say it gets shaky at about the blue area.
Yeah. So I would say, well, I know most of the clients I have, and I think most of our community, we're sitting around that green, and what's that, the orange, belongingness and love needs. We're sitting around that. We sitting around the purple too a little bit, because if you live in paycheck to paycheck,
I'm a little more happy and optimistic than most, but yeah, I know a lot of people when they analyze Black America, they put us lower down on the thing. I got us somewhere in the middle, but okay, go ahead. I'll sit back and hear your analysis.
I mean, yeah, we definitely are progressing, and a lot of us are. We definitely are getting more towards the middle, but a lot of undiagnosed individuals are definitely toward that bottom.
Oh
So
yeah.
so you got I mean, when you live in paycheck to paycheck, sometimes you can't pay for certain utilities. You need government help. You need other certain things. Food, water, and warmth and rest. You can't even start to be creative and think of your goals in life. What you want to fulfill in life, until you get those basic needs taken care of. So that's what I said. And then safety. I mean, you walk outside your community, and you might get shot. You might get robbed. You might get, somebody might just bother you for no reason. We don't have the safest neighborhoods either.
Yeah.
So so you're trying to get your safety. You're trying to get your safety, in place. You're trying to make sure your basic needs, food, water, warmth, rest is in place. We are definitely behind in other races in getting that. If you say like, white society, I mean, you definitely got your trailer parks. I mean, you got you got your your low income white people too. But a lot of them in the middle class up, they're born not even have to worrying about basic needs or safety. So they're starting on the chart on belongingness and love needs. They might even have that already. You got your family, intact family, mother, father. You got friends in the neighborhood, everything straight. And what that does is it boosts your self-esteem, because you don't have to worry about the other challenges that's below you. That's why a lot of people in our society have our self-esteems are low. I mean, you can tell by the way we the way we peacock. You know what I'm saying? Like, though we peacock because we feel we won't feel valuable as just being ourselves at times. You know what I mean? So we gotta have this sneaker. We gotta have um, this name brand stuff. We kill name brand stuff like it's no tomorrow. You
Right.
know, the average middle class, upper middle class white dudes walking around with, or even Pakistani Indian, they're walking around with regular jeans and a t-shirt. They
Yeah.
all kind of look the same. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we need something to build our esteem up, and sometimes we use clothing, and sometimes we use jewelry and stuff, to boost that when we're on the bottom of the pyramid. Now, to really fulfill your needs or fulfill your greatest potential as a human, you got to get to that top of the chart. And our community is not moving up to the top. I mean, we're getting better. We're coming up, but if you can start off life on that top of the chart, then you can do whatever you want. I mean, you got celebrity kids, they're born and they starting at the top. That's why they're able to, achieve a lot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
For
most of
those that can't read it, the top of the chart is achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. Just
like
hopefully everybody can actually read what it says. The bottom of it in the purple says psychological needs, food, water, warmth, rest. And the green the next one up says safety needs, security and safety, the love needs, intimate relationships, friends. The blue is esteem needs, prestige and feeling of accomplishment. Self actualization at the top, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. Just wanted to make sure, just in case there's somebody who can't see it, I just wanted y'all to bare minimum hear what it was, just in case you can't read it. But yeah, go ahead. Well, no, this is my question because you're talking
mhm,
about as a community, and this
mhm,
is one thing that I think we do a lot, and there's nothing wrong with it when we look at things as a community. But I mean, this was more so to analyze an individual, or maybe it's more accurate to say that there are more individuals within our community that are at that bottom level, or that in that purple and that green, because
true.
I heard somebody analyzing this and they was just shorthanding it and they were saying, yeah, white people are at the top. I'm like, wait, I mean, it's I can say that there are more white people percentage
True,
wise
true.
at the top than what there are black people at the top. There are black people that can make it there. I guess my
True.
question.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we definitely individual there at the bottom because you got white people at the bottom too, a lot of
Yeah,
them.
exactly.
So
It's a bell curve
right.
with most things, but I guess what I'm getting at, a lot of those people, I guess, have you seen it? And I don't know, maybe you have to be doing the practice a lot longer to really get a good feeling of this. Have you seen somebody go from, and maybe we all can, anecdotally say that we've seen somebody go from it, but I guess in your practice, have you seen somebody go from, they weren't getting those bottom level needs met, the food, water, warmth, rest, and all of that met. The safety and security wasn't being met. Did that person get to the point in their life where those things are being met? Do they just go and flourish to the top, over a period of time? Because I'm not 100% convinced that's. I mean, I'm not convinced that that's how it necessarily will work. I think some people will just stabilize in the middle,
Mhm.
where. But I don't know. But what's your thoughts on that?
Good question. So I had a client. He was in high school he was a senior, and his little brother was a junior, I believe. Um, his mother passed away, I believe, and his dad was in prison. So he was living with his grandmother, who was living off of a social security check, of course, and they lived in the senior home, so they didn't have too much money. They were living in a neighborhood where a lot of drugs and a lot of gangs were in. So he grandmother struggled to give him those basic needs. So what happened was I helped him apply to it was Clark University. So I helped him apply to Clark University so he can start his collegiate career. His brother was more, I would say his brother was more wanted to be more in the street life or whatever. So I tried to help his brother too, but his brother um, wasn't really trying to get the support that I was offering. So anyway, so he actually he went to Clark University. He graduated, so he was able to build relationships while he was in college. Safety wasn't really an issue because he wasn't in that neighborhood anymore. He was getting his basic needs through the college, which helped him boost his self-esteem. And now I ran into him maybe a year or two ago. Now he works at the High Museum of Art in Midtown in Atlanta. And he does displays. He actually does art. He manages a section of it. He lives downtown. Probably making more. He probably make more than me, but he making a good. He making a good living now. He actually was able to reach his full potential of his talent that he wanted to be. He wanted to be an artist. He always wanted to be an actor. But as he went to doing the art school, he picked up museum management something classes or something like that, and he was able to fulfill his goal in life just by getting out of that situation he was in. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, it's individual accomplishments, individual cases. I'm not saying the whole ADOS community is at that bottom, but you're right. We about in the middle, and like I said, going from different races and different stuff. Everybody's at different stages.
Right. The brother that you talked about, the brother of the person that you were just talking about, you said he wasn't
Mhm.
accepting the advice in the teaching. Like what was the deal with that? And I don't know, I guess in your dealing with people, counseling people, talking to people, and I'm not even talking about just the medicating part of it.
Yeah.
You were just giving him some life advice that he just wasn't accepting. Like what's the difference in the people that accept it and the people that don't, the people that are willing to do it and the people that are not? Because I think a lot of times there's I don't know, the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When
Hmm.
you're ready to actually make the move, you're going to seek out, you're going to find you're going to find the people that can help. You're going to stumble into it. You're going to be in the right places. You're going to be researching the right things. You're going to end up moving in that path. But what is the difference in the people in this? And I don't even know if this gets out of your expertise, or maybe if
Hmm.
it does, you can just give your opinion on it. What's the difference in one brother who took the advice and the other one that didn't? Like, what's going on in the head, in the psyche of the one who just said, nah, I'm good down here where I'm at, versus the one who said, oh yeah, this sounds like interesting, I'm about to go do it?
Uh-huh. Um, Man, it's hard to even. I mean, I'm like, you guys are both brothers. You guys grew up in the same environment. You both live together. Um, I'm just like, how does one go this way, one go that way? Because eventually, when I spoke with my old client, he told me his brother, is basically doing life in prison now.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's managing. I'm gonna get to your question. So he's managing the museum, and his brother is in prison. And when I used to go visit the house, I'll say, "Hey, where's your brother at?" He's just be like, "Oh, he's not here. He's out in the street. He's selling weed. I mean, he's in high school." So something. It seemed like the older brother, who was only a year older, wanted something different, and I could see that in him. And his little brother used to call. It's so cliche because his little brother used to be like, "Oh, he's weird," or he's just different. You know, the little brother used to say that about his older brother, and and the little brother, he just wanted to be, well, I'll say he just wanted to be a street dude. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so
yeah, that's that's what
that's
I'm
all he
saying.
wanted to be.
Some of them just want it.
Yeah.
That's is they comfortable in it. They them
Hmm.
found a nice resting place in that shit. They where it's just
He's
they
comfortable. He's comfortable there. Like that's
yeah.
just where he wanted to be. And I mean, if you think about it, his father wasn't around. His mom died, so that's where he got his comfort from, being
Mm-hmm.
around those dudes.
Yeah.
Having having a purpose. Like when he came around, I'm sure they were like, "Hey, what's up? Blah blah. You know, can you do this for us or can you do that for us?" So he felt good that somebody else was, that he was a purpose in somebody else's life. No matter who it is, it can be somebody who's negative or positive. You see what I'm saying? So it's just weird. But the other client, the older brother, he just wanted to do art so bad, and he just wanted to get out of that environment. And he used to talk to his brother though, like, "Hey, bro, you shouldn't be doing this, bro. You shouldn't be doing that." But that's where he wanted to go. You know?
Mm. Interesting. Brian Tobert, aka Mr. Bowtie, says happened to my older sister. She's living the thug lifestyle, and I'm at the Pentagon. Wow.
True, true.
Grew up in the same house, same mama, same daddy, same food, and yeah, that's crazy.
It definitely happens, man. It happens with twins too. That's the
Now that one I have a hard
crazy
time
part.
accepting, man. Are you serious?
Yeah, it happens with
Twins?
twins, man. Yep.
I've every twin, all twins that I know, they normally, give or take small things. They have
Hmm.
very similar personalities, very similar. Like I mean, for I don't want to say exact because I mean my brother, two of his best friends were actually twins growing up, and so I was around them all the time. So it's like I grew up from like middle school on to adulthood. I was around some twins, and just looking at them those are the only ones I got to look at really really close. But
Yeah.
the other ones, their personalities seemed pretty much alike. But even with those ones, they were spot on the same. Yeah, that's puzzling because
Yeah, I
for
got
those that don't fully understand, with twins, they literally have the same exact DNA. It's
yep, gene makeup. Yep.
yeah, it's that's you're looking at the same exact person. Like it's not just that they, it's so that's puzzling. That's why I find studies of twins that grew up apart. I find that completely interesting because you know how in a science fiction type of way, like we've all seen the movie The Butterfly Effect. Well,
Yeah.
most of us seen that. So what would happen to you grow if had a completely different life, and that's what was happening in the movie when the past would change or whatever.
Hmm.
She'd grow up one way and be some crack whore, and then grow up another way and be some little valley girl in a sorority. You know, so when I look at that's why I like looking at studies of twins growing up separately because that's the only real life way to really see how that plays out. And even then, when I do that, a lot of them in similar, very similar.
Hmm.
That's interesting if they grew up in the same house and one of them went to that street life and the other one went another way. That's puzzling. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's a
very
lot.
that's
And
very puzzling.
it's crazy because I have a pair of twins now who I'm counseling, and they both had their senior year during COVID, so that kind of sucked for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they graduated, but it's crazy because one wants to basically go to school, get a job, and get out that house, get out of his mama house. And the other one wants to, doesn't really want to work. Recently got fired from his job. Doesn't want to leave mom house. And I spoke with mom, and she says, she mentioned the name of the person, the name of the kid who wants to leave, and she's like, yeah, I know he's gonna go off and do his thing and blah blah. She's like, but not my baby. He's talking about the other one. Not my baby. He's gonna be around all the time. He's gonna be a mama's boy and stay with me. And I'm like, okay, but we can't enable that, that dependent relationship between you and your, the other son, because then he's never going to actually develop and grow into his own independently man. So she already has the mindset of he's going to be around.
Hey, Blexit the community saying, can someone block Zugo one? I wouldn't say block him, but definitely time him out, because he's sound like he in there trolling about race mixing, something that don't got nothing to do with the topic. Every comment I keep seeing him saying something about why would you want to breed yourself out. That don't got nothing to do with the topic. So just time him out a bunch of times so he can chill, because it sounds like he might be being a nuisance. I don't know who the hell he is, but he's sounds like he way off topic and just talking shit about whatever agenda he want to ride in on a horse and argue about. So yeah, just time him out a little bit. Don't block him though. But anyway, we're and no. Let Lacey chill. That's Sister George's moderator. Her and Save Yourself Black Woman. All the black women that hate black men so much that even Kevin Samuels is dusty, according to them. Those are the people that moderate for Sister George. Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. Hey, Sister George, how you doing? Glad you're here.
George.
Glad you're here. Got the black man hating brigade moderating for you. All right, cool. Anyway, just talking shit. Anyway, where was we at?
I wanted to go because a lot of nigga ain't shit behaviors and all the dysfunction in the black community.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it has to do with adverse childhood experiences, which basically means childhood trauma. So you got that slide with that questionnaire of the childhood trauma questions.
Give me a minute.
Yeah, as we there's a questionnaire we ask most clients up front that we can determine when we try to diagnose somebody. We go off of childhood experiences. What's his name? I forgot the guy's name, but he was the chief of the pediatric, childhood doctors community, and he made a statement. He said that the most untreated medical challenges with kids are adverse childhood experiences. So basically, he's saying he didn't say cancer, he didn't say childhood diabetes, he didn't say nothing physical. He said the trauma that kids are experience is the most untreated, diagnosis in the medical field, which leads to mental health in adults. So a lot of our experience as kids, all that trauma leads up to how we behave now. I mean, you can go back to, you put your hand on the fire and, it hurts, so you don't do it no more. That's trauma. So now it's still trauma. It's good trauma. You know what I mean? So now you don't put your hand in fire. You see what I'm saying? But then you have some bad trauma that happened when you were a kid, and you still, you're still acting out in behaviors due to what happened when you were younger. And when I talk about mental health and a diagnosis, it's all trauma. Everybody experiences trauma. Okay, yeah. All right, so this questionnaire we use to when we're diagnosing an adult, we ask them these questions about the childhood, and this leads to most people, if they score a 4 on this, is it a 4? It might be a 4. How many questions? 10. If
On
they
a
score,
4 out of 10, you mean?
yeah, if they score a 4 out of 10, then they are very at risk of a mental health diagnosis.
Mm.
So, and I believe a lot of us in the ADOS community, we probably can score good 4 to 6 on this right here, right? You got the first question. Did a parent or other adult in your household often swear at you, insult you, put you down, or humiliate you? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, a lot of people. That's a one. I mean, that's a yes for a lot of people. I personally didn't have that, but
mhm,
my cousins, to the cousins that I'm the most closest to, my auntie who I love dearly. Man, when I used to go over to their house because they would spend a night at my house, I spend a night at their house. Man, she used to scare the shit out of me. She wouldn't cuss at me like that. But when
mhm.
she would be talking to her kids, my cousins who were like brothers and sisters to me, you motherfuckers, like she just going in. Like I couldn't. My
Tell
mom
you,
didn't talk like that. I just couldn't believe that shit. But yeah, that's a one for that's definitely a one for most of us.
hey man, that's the one for me too, man. Just me personally. I mean, my mom, she would call me stupid like all day, every day, and yell to the point like if you to the point where I started believing it. Like oh maybe I
Mm,
am stupid. The more you keep telling the child, I mean, child brains are so they're so blank slate that you can fill in the missing pieces. So you keep calling a kid stupid or you ain't gonna be shit and stuff like that, they're gonna start believing it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, acting the way that made you afraid that might be physically hurt. Yeah, of course. And all right. Did a parent or other adult in your house so often push, grab, slap, or throw something at you? I never got physically abused, but a lot of
It's a lot
individuals.
of that going on. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
even some pop, even like a pop upside the back of the head. Shit like that. Like that happens. That happens. But yeah,
Leave marks.
I think a lot of people get that. But ever hit so hard that you had marks where you injured. Like I mean, a lot of people can answer yes for that one.
And,
Just like push, grab, slap, or throw something at you like that. That happens in black households quite often.
and check this out, right? Because I'm not saying you ain't supposed to discipline your kids because you're supposed to, but if you beating your child to the point where they're, you're leaving marks, you're beating them down, and they
Hmm.
still not changing their behaviors, because nobody wants to get a beating, man. Like
That's
my mom
that
only
was
beat me. She beat me
I,
a couple times, man. I'm like, hold on, I don't like beatings. I need to change the way I think. You know
I ran into that crossroad with my son, with the one who's he's 17 now. When I told the story earlier in the show, how he was misdiagnosed with ADD. It was actually his tonsils were too big and needed to be removed because he couldn't
what I
get
mean?
REM sleep, REM sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then so that just had him just at school, just can't retain no information, just wired up like he just hadn't been sleep. Like I mean, it was a mess. But I just looked at it. He was just misbehaving and needed a butt whipping. And so I
Yeah,
used to spank him, and I wasn't seeing any results. And then when we found out what it really was, that was like my moment where I realized spanking children is I'm not full blown anti spanking, but I got my son is younger than him.
yeah,
He's never been spanked, and his behavior is better. Now it could be again two different people, but there's a way to raise kids without spanking, and I've successfully done it. And the one who didn't who out of the three sons I raised, the one who didn't get spankings is the one
mm-hmm.
who thinks before he acts more so than others. Who's not who doesn't just get as raged up on emotion or doesn't lash out in anger. Doesn't he's the most calm, even killer. Now he's an athlete. He plays sports. He's a boy's boy and everything. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't I didn't drain the boy out of him. He's still a boy, but he just he channels it in a good way. He plays sports and does stuff like that. And it's so yeah, I'm with parents not spanking children. I mean, I'm not completely anti because but because I'm not the professional. But all I know is it can be done without hitting your kids. It can be done without hitting your kids. That's all I say.
It sounds like he thinks about his consequences before he acts out on them.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so he's not as impulsive as the other
yeah.
child who had the tonsil, issue.
Right, right.
Yeah.
All right. Did an adult or person at least 5 years older than you touch? Oh shit. Touch or fondle you or have you touch their body in a sexual way or try to actually have oral, anal, or vaginal sex with you?
And this one right here, man, man, I was at a house yesterday. We had emails. I told you I work for the crisis unit now. So I went out with a kid. No, he was not a kid. He was 29, right? But he was living with his parents. He has schizophrenia. So he admitted yesterday that his mom's second husband, I think she's married 3 times. So the second husband, who mom actually admitted that he physically and emotionally abused him, he added sexual abuse. And she said, "You never told me that." He said, "You wouldn't know or you wouldn't care." So now that's a whole nother, dynamic in why he's the way he is now. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of people, the sexual abuse at a young age is prominent. I would say in ADOS, I would say in just regular American society. I mean, I've done a lot of these assessments, and it seems like I would say, man, it's like 60, maybe 60%. Somebody saying something, and I'm the first person they tell them. You know what I mean?
Damn. Now I'm gonna come back to that one. That's yeah. I'm gonna come back to that one. All right, perfect storm. He says, is narcissism a problem in the Black community? You can probably answer that one quick.
It's a problem in the whole American civilization right now.
Yeah.
We have
The
this
president,
me, me, me.
the president is a narcissist. Like I mean,
Yes, he is. I mean, you got this me mentality right now. Love yourself. I mean, I would say that the worst. I would say one of the worst advice you can give somebody is to be to do what makes you feel happy. I would say that.
You say that's some of the worst advice?
I would say that's some of the worst advice, because and a lot of people don't know that, because being happy can mean me smoking crack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being happy, I mean, of course you're gonna be happy, but in today's society, we're making it to where being happy should be the only emotion you feel. And if you feel depressed or you feel anxiety or you feel all emotions are normal. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's happy 24 hours a day. And if they are, they're on heavy meds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So be happy is cool, but staying in a toxic relationship can be, do what makes you feel happy. Or doing something to make you feel happy can be dangerous activities. Sometimes not in your best interest to do what makes you happy. I mean, you can like heroin. I mean, is that gonna make you happy if you do it? I mean, that could be dangerous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's the worst advice, but it's like you got to know who you're talking to when you get advice. And why I'm saying that for narcissism is we're in a culture where love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. I understand all that, but vanity and all that love yourself can turn into narcissism.
Wise man says, Brother Bernard, I gotta go. My brother work is calling. We'll catch the replay. Shout out to Constable Murray. Keep up the good work, Black man. Thank you for the super chat. And I definitely will try to keep up the good work. Definitely will try to keep up the good work. All right, let's move on down to number 4
Okay.
on the list. I'm 0 for 3 right now, fortunately.
Okay.
Um, fortunately, I'm 0 for 3 so far. But hey, I know it's some people that's checking all three of the boxes we read so far. The third one is did you often feel that no one in your family loved you or thought you were important or special? Your family didn't look out for each other, feel close to each other, or support each other.
This is this is a big one too, right here, man. A lot of people. I mean, a lot of kids, being born in some communities, they just don't feel loved. I mean, because parents, a lot of parents they're on that bottom of the pyramid, man. They're trying to fulfill their basic needs for everybody. So a parent will feel like, okay, I give you food, shelter, water. You should be happy for that, and that's cool. That's good. Like you should just be cool with that. I mean, I've had parents that have spoken to me and say, well, my child, my child doesn't I say praise, but my child doesn't understand what I go through to keep a roof over their head and clothes and food. So they don't understand that this is a child. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're supposed to do that for this child. You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't, and then they have multiple kids, so it's kind of hard to give this kid all the attention they need. Sometimes they're in split households; they're going from household to household, so they never get that nurturing that they fully need, to feel they have a purpose within the family unit.
Mm.
Everybody wants to be Everybody wants to feel belonged. We're social. We're a social species, so we want to feel belong. We want to feel that we're bringing something to the family unit.
Did you shy away from saying social animals?
Yeah, I did.
Why you do that?
Like, wait a minute. Yeah,
I,
we are.
I caught that. I caught that. You you got to be careful. Some black people don't like that. Don't like that term. So yeah, I
Yeah.
can tell you caught yourself on purpose with that one. But yeah, we are upright, walking, talking, hairless apes. That's what the science tells us. Deal with it. All right, all right. Carry on. Carry on.
Yeah. So I mean, you got kids who are in the foster system, kids who are put up for adoption, kids who have no homes. I mean, at that age, you feel worthless, man. You feel hopeless, and you resent your family. Like, why you put me up for adoption, or why did Child Protective Custody Services take me out of the house? So that's trauma. That plays a big part, and and how the trauma and how their behaviors manifest when they get older.
Just hold on real quick. Come on, Silent. Got to come with the jokes, man. I'm sorry, I'm just too clean up in here for you, man. You got to call me Bernard Winans. I sung a little background. They didn't let me sing lead. I was just in the background singing and playing the little congos. They didn't let me be up front. So I just said fuck them. I don't even claim them no more. But yeah, I did used to sing background for the Winans. But anyway, all right, back to the.
Oh man.
All right, thanks, Keith, for the super chat. Appreciate you. All right, carry on, carry on. Oh shit.
We had number 5.
Oh shit. Yo, hold on. I think I unshared this. Wait, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I just gotta go here. Nope. Now you're going. Now you. There you go.
Okay.
All right. All right. So we had number 5. Let me bring it up. Where was I? Where was I?
Number 5.
There we go. Number 5. All right. Did you often feel that you didn't have enough to eat, had to wear dirty clothes, and had no one to protect you? Your parents were too drunk or high to take. Damn. So it says, or your parents were too drunk or high to take care of you or take you to the doctor if you needed it. Those should be two separate things because you could not have enough to eat
Mm-hmm.
or wear dirty clothes or feel like you don't got nobody to protect you. Like you could feel those things. Like you could have all those things. No, maybe not. I was thinking maybe you could have all those things, but your parents still be too drunk or high to take you to the doctor or do whatever. But I see why they warped those two together.
Yeah, they kind of gave you or.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they gave you the or, but I suppose that's a common one for those because few people just make it in here. What we explain real quick for those that just making it back in here. What is this list that we reading right here?
Adverse childhood experience questionnaire, and it determines your risk for severe mental health in your adulthood.
Okay. All right. All right. And if you were in that situation, that's one of the factors. Number 5, the one we just read, we're talking about not having enough food, water, clean clothes, and all of that, or you feel like you didn't have no one to protect you, or your parents were too drunk or high to take care of you or take you to the doctor if you needed it. That's a
Yeah,
common one, or no?
it's definitely neglect. I get that. I get that a lot. I get that a lot when I'm dealing with my child protective cases with kids. Now with the adults, I get that too. They a lot of adults I work with, a lot of their parents had a substance abuse issue or challenge. It runs in the family, and
Mm-hmm.
substance abuse is hereditary too. So eventually, if the adult um, is doing some type of heroin or some type of drug excessively, normally their parent were on some type of substance as well.
Yeah, see, we need you to do some individual analysis of Silent Lamont. We got to get down to the bottom. Got to get down to the bottom of his issues here.
Hey, Silent Lamont told me. Paying attention to him, he says he grew up in the foster system, so
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine what he's been through.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
been through a lot, and those kids are, whoa, man, they go through a lot, man. Just, I went to one of my recent cases where on a mobile crisis unit, I went to see this 16-year-old white girl, whatever. She was 15. Yeah, she was 15. Man, she had cuts all over her arms. She tried to slit her throat. And her the only thing she kept saying was, "I hope my foster mother adopts me." And a lot of foster parents, they don't really adopt like that. So
Mm.
some of them do, some of them don't. So you're a foster parent and you're hearing this child wanting you to adopt them, and you're going to disappoint this child, but then this child might kill themselves off of that, off of your answer, and now the kid has to be hospitalized. So
Oh, that's wild.
yeah, so it's a lot.
That is wild. Damn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A lot of
You're
these
talking
kids
about.
just want a home, man. They want a safe place, a home, and a parent that loves them. And a lot of them never got that in their life. So now they're out here in the street, wilding out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. I actually dated a chick. She wore long sleeves all the time, or some like or bracelets, or she wore something over her arms because she had cut marks when
Ooh.
she used to cut herself. She said she actually tried to commit suicide once. So she would have she went through with it, but the rope broke. So she
Mm.
did this. I mean, she was about 30 when I met her, but this was back when she was like 19 or whatever. I guess she had been cutting herself from teenage to, I guess, right before, right around the suicide attempt. But she still had the cuts on her arms. She cut so deep they wouldn't fade away. The cuts was still there and everything. So yeah, she was on meds, and so you wouldn't know it. She had a
Yeah.
master's degree and was doing normal stuff. People said she didn't need medicine, and she used to be like, "No, you ain't never seen me off my meds." She said she used to see shit, see people that wasn't there, and see,
Hmm.
yeah, she had all kind of issues. Like she
But
was,
she had hallucinations and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. She had it bad, but you know, and the thing is, the way it worked, and you probably know a lot about this. The way it worked,
Mm,
where she said that she would, if she build a resistance to the medicine, then she
mm,
would, you know, start seeing people again that's not there. You know, like having her A Beautiful Mind moments. If those that remember that
yeah.
movie with Russell Crowe, she would start seeing people that wasn't there, and then she had to go back, and they either got to increase or lower the dosage. They got to, you know, play with it, got to fluctuate, get it in the right realm. But if it fluctuates, sometimes you need more, sometimes you need less. They got to have her at the right balance so she won't start seeing shit and then start going and all kind of other crazy places. But yeah, I dated her crazy ass for like 3 months. So yeah,
I was like, wow, that must have been an
yeah.
experience.
I
Speaking
mean,
of,
it was just an experience in that her explaining that to me. I didn't see none of it. I didn't
oh,
think
okay,
nothing
yeah,
of it. You know, because she you know she was on her meds, and as long as she was
yeah.
on her meds, I guess she was cool. But yeah, she was clinically crazy. Uh,
Hey, you
sex,
can't use that word, man. You can't use that word.
oh, can't use that. Can't use clinically crazy. What do I don't know. The sex was amazing. Sex was amazing. But anyway,
Oh,
all right.
wait. She's probably in her manic stage.
What'd you say?
She's probably in her manic episode.
Yeah. You have her come through on. Don't take your medicine for 3 days, and come over here and let's have some wild, crazy sex. Anyway, okay. Anyway. All right. Let's get back. Let's get back to the. Let's get
Question
back
there.
to the list. I'm technically 0 for 5 on this.
Oh, for 5, man, you had a beautiful childhood.
Well, no, the only thing I was about to say is there were times, you know, where we was, you know, poor. There were
Yeah,
moments where I felt like, you know, it wasn't enough to eat, but you know, never had to wear dirty clothes,
I just probably
and
was.
it didn't feel like it was, you know, a lack of protection or whatever. I never felt like that. But there was some moments where you know we were struggling. We were struggling
Mm-hmm.
a little bit where you know I was hungry and wasn't really a whole lot to eat, and I'm waiting for my mama to get off work, and she got off work, and it still wasn't really that much to eat. But
Yeah,
there was brief moments of that, you know.
yeah. I
Some
think
you
I'm.
know periods, debs and flows, but eventually, but you know, my mom, she remarried. I shouldn't say remarried, got married because her and my dad was never married. My dad, he passed away when I was 5. They weren't together when he
Oh,
passed away.
okay.
But so you know, but when I was about in the 7th grade, that's when her and my stepdad, they got together, and from then, you know, his construction worker salary and her she was a supervisor in the housekeeping department at a hotel. So you
Okay.
know, putting their money together, that would, you know, that ended up being middle class. So from 7th grade on, it was middle class. But from 7th
Mm-hmm.
grade and below, there was moments where, you know, it was pretty damn poor at moments. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but never felt like unsafe or unprotected or neglected. It just that, you know, hey, with that much money there, that's just, you know, just the reality of the situation. So that's why I'm kind of 0 for 5, but I kind of got to claim a small part of the fifth one on that. You know, there were moments when, you know, when shit went all the way right. But
Yeah, yeah. I definitely because I think I'm like maybe 1 for 4 right now. So I mean, we probably had similar. I never was neglected or nothing like that, and
yeah, no,
that's
I didn't.
probably a reason why you don't have a mental health
Yeah.
chronic disorder. People with these if you have 4 through 6 of one of these, you probably have a maybe close to a chronic mental health disorder.
Mm.
If you
All right.
experience about 4 or 5 of these, you definitely are at risk for it at least.
Yeah. At number 6, were your parents ever separated or divorced? Well, they should have never married on there. Well, then again, I guess that psychologically would make you go through something different if they
Yeah,
remember the
right.
separation or the divorce. Okay.
I didn't even catch that. They should have one and then not even married. So they're just assuming, like I said, this is all Western,
Yeah. They
questionnaire.
assuming
They
it
just
was
assume your
yeah,
parents were
they're
together.
assuming it was a happy home at some point when they separated. They not averaged into the equation that that your mama was a hoe. But anyway, but, but all right. But anyway, as far as separated, I mean, that's clearly common with black folks because the families, they really was never a family. The house was never a home in many cases. So yeah,
Never grew up in a nuclear family setting.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess I would kind of qualify for that one if they worded it a little better. If they, included, the parents were never really together. If they were, well, they separated. I was too young to even know or understand. My brother, who's a year older than me, he remembers them being together. So there's that. But I was just too young to truly remember, it ever being anything that resembled a family. But so there's that.
Okay.
Was your mother or stepmother? Mother or stepmother?
Interesting question. I never looked at it that they're just asking about the mother right now. But go ahead.
Yep. I thought the same thing. That's Black manosphere education right there.
Exactly.
You're seeing exactly what's wrong with this questionnaire because if they ask my sons this question, they would be like, no, my mother was perfectly fine. It was my dad that had to duck every now and then. But anyway.
Exactly. That's why the manosphere is here, man.
Yeah. That's just a one-sided ass question. Was your mother or stepmother often pushed, grabbed, slapped, or had something thrown at her, or sometimes or often kicked, bitten, hit with a fist, or hit with something hard? Or we got to just charge these men all the way up, goddammit. Or
all these abusive men
ever repeatedly hit over at least a few minutes or threatened with a gun or not.
Oh man.
God damn.
Nothing about the dad, nothing about the father, man. Nothing.
Okay, yeah. Did your father did he receive a paper cut or anything?
Okay.
Did your mother accidentally step on your father's foot from time to time? Like he received no abuse whatsoever.
He did all the abuse.
Yeah. God damn. But anyway, but keeping it real though, a lot of that's one. I mean, I'm looking at the list and I'm seeing how easily just so far, where we at 7?
Yeah.
I'm seeing how easily somebody could fall into, let's see, what did a parent or other adult in the household often swear at you, insult you? That's an easy one for a lot of us. Did your parent or other adult in the household often push, grab, slap, throw, do something like that? Even if it wasn't just crazy abuse, but a pop in the back of the head when you're doing some stupid shit. Yeah, that counts. So that's an easy 2 for did an adult or a person at least 5 years older ever touch, fondle? Basically talking about sexual molestation. We know the data with that. I do want to circle back to that, but that's one for a lot of people. Did you often feel that no one in your family loved you and that didn't feel important or special? That I struggle. That one is hard to believe because I know that it happens. But man, because I do think even in a lot of those destructive, dysfunctional families, I do think in some weird way they love each other. You know what I mean? You would think even though despite their dysfunction, they still love each other. So that's just crazy when to just even think that no one in your family loved you or thought you were important or special. That's wild. That's wild. But exactly. But I mean, bare minimum, I think a lot of black people are going to be 3 out of 4 right there, just on the top 4 one. But did you often feel that you didn't get enough to eat? Had clean clothes to wear, or had someone to protect you, or your parents were too drunk or high to take you to the doctor, and all of that? I mean, that's a lot right there. But I think a lot of us, grew up poor. There was moments when it probably wasn't as much to eat. But I mean, the dirty clothes and the not protected and the parents too drunk or high, that's hopefully, I don't know. That shit I can't imagine. Like my mom wasn't neglectful like that. You know, there was moments when
Mm-hmm.
before she was, working at a restaurant. She like I remember when I was young. I think she worked at Long John Silver's when I was real young. She wasn't making that much money, but hey, she was working. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, were your parents separated or divorced? We talked about that. How they need to include never together to begin with in there. Was
Like, that's
another
a big component. Oh,
factor. And then the abuse factor. I could see a lot of us right now having like 4 or 5 of those. Man, that's
mm-hmm.
crazy. That is crazy. All right, number 8. Did you live with anyone who was a problem drinker or alcoholic
Street
or
drug.
who used street drugs?
A lot of
If
people, like I said, a lot of people have their substances. I mean, now abuse and use is different. You know what I'm saying? So if you had somebody abusing it, it's definitely going to be more traumatic, to the child. You know, so this is kind of, I mean, and you're using street drugs, so that's going to be more traumatic too. So,
mm-hmm,
I mean, you have dependency, you have abuse. All that's all different. So they're just asking. They say a problem. I mean, that's very subjective. We don't know that
mm-hmm.
often. A child could have seen their dad drink a beer once and say, "Oh yeah, he's an alcoholic," or this, that, and the third, and dad was just having a beer here and there. So this question is kind of very subjective, and wherever the person you're interviewing is going with it. So it has to
Mm.
be more detailed, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Um, was a household member depressed or mentally ill, or did a household member attempt suicide? I had an uncle who was a little mentally disturbed who lived with us in the basement from time to time. He was on his meds and he used to
Hmm.
talk to himself a little bit, but he was harmless. He was harmless. He just used to walk around just whispering to himself about nothing. But other than that,
Huh?
other than
Did
that,
he,
he
did
was
he
harmless.
see things? Was he
I don't think
hearing things?
I don't think he used to hear shit. I just think he
Hmm.
used to be just in his own head. Like, you know how like you daydreaming and you like rehashing a conversation that you had.
Hmm.
I just think when he used to do that, he used to just do it out loud sometimes, but like under his breath, like he would just like be like, yeah, motherfucker, I told that motherfucker, he just like mumble like that to himself, and
Was he
I'm
able
like,
to work or anything? Or
he's had a job before, but he didn't not too often, not too
okay.
often, because he got a check, so
Oh, okay, yeah, he was disabled, mentally disabled. Then.
yeah,
Okay.
he was mentally disabled, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I did have somebody in my house that had a that was mentally ill. So that
Hmm.
part is true.
And like I said, it runs in the family. Um, Especially schizophrenia.
Yeah,
Most
that's
people,
literally what he got. Yeah.
it's really what he got. So you gotta be careful. You said you got a 17-year-old, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so most schizophrenia cases are diagnosed around the ages from 18 to 24.
Yeah.
Those and that time frame, because the gene for schizophrenia is dormant until then. Now, the way people become schizophrenic is a very stressful event happens between 18 and 24 that can actually bring out that schizophrenic gene and a disorder. So a lot of kids, especially black males, a lot of kids when they go to college, their first year of college is when they get schizophrenia
Mm.
because of leaving the household, so, being on their own. It's a very stressful time in their life. Very stressful experience. Or the military. If they go to the military right away, that's going to be stressful on them too. So
Mm.
around 1824, if a traumatic event happens, that can spark that gene.
Yeah, that's wild. It's funny because I knew my uncle had that, and so in a weird way, I was like just counting down the time. Like once I got past 24 and I was good, I was like, okay, good, I made it. Because I was sitting there looking at all the crazy people in my family, like, ooh, I hope I don't inherit none of that. Because I knew early on that it manifests after sometime after the age of 17. I did know that. I didn't know it in the detail that you said it, but I did know from about 17 to 24 is when it could happen. So I was a little worried. I was a little worried that I was going to catch some of that. So I was glad once I got 25, 26, 27, I was like, all right, I'm good. I ain't about to be walking around, talking to myself like oh man, it's funny that I said he was harmless. I don't want to out my my uncle, but there was okay. I've never seen him do this, but they said he allegedly, like damn, he must have, yeah, he wasn't on no meds. He was on meds the whole time I knew him, so I just saw him talking to himself from time to time. But yeah, they said he just walked outside butt ass naked, like as if he had clothes on, like he just like was just walking. People used to walk to the store all the time. I think he just like walked to the store like everything was normal. Just like, I mean, probably was like a 1 mile walk, just strutting through the street. Wasn't like he was running, wasn't like he was streaking. He was just walking, just regular, just calm, cool, collected, cigarette in his hand, just puffing his butt ass naked.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
schizophrenia right there.
yeah. So yeah, I heard about all of that.
And they are harmless, the media and the just the public make them out to be these crazy monsters, but somebody with schizophrenia is way less likely to harm you than your regular person on the street. They're just in their own world doing their thing. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain, so they're very harmless people.
Keith was in the naked mile. Yeah, man. Oh shit. But yeah, that's wild. That's wild. Oh shit. Let's go through the last. Okay, did a household member go to prison? I assume statistically a lot of black people deal with that one, but I never have, but I don't know.
Well, my mom did date a drug dealer for most of after she divorced my dad. She was with this drug dealer dude. He went in and out of prison a lot, so I kind of dealt with it. But
jail or prison?
Prison. He did. It's funny because when he went away one time, he popped up out of nowhere. I guess he did about 5 years, and he came back, and he was just like, "I was in Baltimore." Like for 5 years.
He just said he was in Baltimore.
He was in Baltimore making moves or something, and then he came back for a little bit, and then he went to he did 10 years in Rikers. I mean, he went to Rikers Island, and then he did a 10-year bid, and then he came out, and he became some type of counselor or something. So he hit me up and was like, "Hey, I do the same thing you do." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you do the same." I mean, so it was just funny, man. Yeah, but I dealt with that growing up.
Man, there's a woman I know. It's funny how you say your stepdad or your mom's boyfriend. You say, "Oh, I was in Baltimore." A woman I know, she said that she did 2 years in prison, off some stupid shit. I think she had like sort of stole her boyfriend's car. Her hat was gone for so long in it that he called the police on her, and then the police finally tracked her down, and she wouldn't open the door, so they busted the door open, and like it was a big ass SUV. She said she like turned sideways and kicked the police officer right when they tried to reach into the car or whatever. She said she turned sideways and kicked him with both feet and sent him flying. And then so needless to say, her ass, she did 2 years on that shit. But she told her son, this is the funny part. That she told her son that she was just off in college all that time. Like mommy went off to college. That's a story that they tell their kids when they when they get locked up. They say they went off to college.
Went off to school, got a degree.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny, man.
But damn,
yeah. Oh, go
This is
ahead.
crazy. You say most black people normally get at least 4 of these things on this list.
Yes, sir. And you know what? This
How many
list.
you got to get to be considered to normally have a mental illness diagnosis of some sort?
Yeah, this is like a tracking of what it puts a person at risk of getting one as an adult.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I'm gonna get into um, the behaviors of what we see going on in adults. Nigga ain't shit culture, right?
Uh-huh.
So who do you think's more social? Um, an incel or Pookie and Ray Ray?
Would have to be Pookie and Ray Ray. I would assume.
Who do you think's more antisocial?
Um, I got a different understanding of antisocial listening to, like, for example, Obsidian explain what it is. I thought an antisocial person was someone who just pulled away from social stuff. Like I conflated antisocial and introvert, but
Mm-hmm.
those are two different things as I understand it now. So far as my more recent understanding of antisocial, I'd have to say, your typical hood nigga would be more antisocial.
There you go. There you go. Shout out to Obsidian. Yes, he's absolutely right. So, antisocial people are very social because you have people who say, well, "I don't like going out to lounges or hanging out. I don't like a social life, so I'm antisocial."
Mm-hmm.
And I have to explain to them that no, you're not antisocial. You might be withdrawn or have social anxieties,
Yeah,
but antisocial is totally different. Antisocial people are very social. It's just they don't
they don't conform to social norms.
norms. Yeah, yeah, they don't abide by social norms.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people in our community, like men, are diagnosed. They diagnose black men with a lot of them with antisocial personality disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So let's read the list of that. So what they say is, okay, break the law repeatedly. This is the criteria. Break the law repeatedly, disregard the safety of self and others. They have problems with substance abuse. They lie, steal, and fight often. Um, show no guilt or remorse for whoever they, you know, um, attack or whatever. And they're often angry or arrogant. And they're often, what is the word? They're often impulsive.
Mm-hmm.
And a person like this is very charming and very manipulative.
Mm.
So I always laugh. I'm like, okay, the dating coaches, they're like creating these antisocial sociopaths. So
Uh-oh. Don't start no fires now. Don't start no fires.
I was starting vibe. I was starting vibe.
Uh-oh.
They come up with these manipulative tactics to get what they want or whatever. So definitely, and most of the people in prison have this disorder. And they say this originates from childhood trauma, the list we just went through. So if you have,
Damn, run that list again.
yeah, of the behaviors,
Yeah, say that again.
okay, we have, like you said, failure to conform to social norms. We have break the law repeatedly, have a problem with substance use, disregard the safety of self and others, lie, steal, and fight, not show guilt or remorse, not take responsibility for certain things, usually angry or arrogant, and impulsive with the decision making.
Mm. Yeah,
It-
sound like a bunch of nigga shit. Yeah.
Pretty much that's what it is,
And this is just called just an antisocial disorder.
This is a personality disorder. Yep, just like most women have borderline disorder. Um, so when you say, uh, so most black men, right? They diagnosed with not most. I ain't saying most. I'm talking about the ones who are like doing nigga shit or in prison. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? They diagnose them when they get in there for antisocial um, personality disorder. So basically, they're doing things that are, that can have them end up in prison. Illegal stuff, um, doing stuff that disregard for other humans. Basically, they just trying to win. They trying to they put other people down just so they can um, basically win on them, or basically take advantage of others. You see what I'm saying? Without showing any remorse, not caring about other humans, because when they were growing up, nobody cared about them. So they never were shown, they were never taught, and they're never taught or shown that nurture, that care. So when they get older, they don't care for other people either. You see
Mm.
how that kind of correlates?
Yeah. Okay. So I guess my question is, if that's a disorder of some sort, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, an antisocial disorder. Did I say it right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Personality disorder, yeah. Antisocial
antisocial personality disorder. So is there medication for that?
personality disorders are very hard to treat.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of set in stone. um,
What do you mean by set in stone?
Basically, if you have it, there's no cure for those personality disorders. They're always, the person's always going to have it. The
Oh.
only way is therapy. Therapy is the only way to treat it. Medication can stop the impulses or help with the impulses, but talk therapy, I don't even call it talk therapy. Basically, doing therapy, your sessions with a person is the only way. Um, yeah, D. Darrell's right. Only way to deal with a personality disorder. So, like, you have borderline. A lot of people with bipolar, or a lot of women have borderline disorder. That's that's a very severe disorder. I mean, borderline. You ever heard of it's called cluster B disorder? You have a
It's literally
YouTuber who
a
uses
black.
that.
Hold, I'm out. I'm out. It's
So
literally
yeah,
a black YouTuber with the
there's
name
a YouTuber with that
Cluster
name.
B.
Yeah,
I think she changed it to Cookie Monster. That's the
yeah.
yeah, that's the one that set this whole sector of black YouTube on fire on April 1st with the April Fool's Day massacre. So yeah, we all are familiar with Cluster B personality disorder.
Yeah,
Do
I've
because
heard her. Yeah, I heard some of her stuff in there. I was like, oh, it's cluster B over there. But
yeah.
yeah, but it's very attention driven, very dramatic driven. A lot of people with that disorder place themselves in situations that that can be, harm can be caused to them, or they put themselves in a lot of risky situations.
Mm,
And uh, then it's not their fault. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Kind of like where we're going with the protection. We got to protect, black women or whatever, but they're placing themselves in certain situations, and
Ah,
you know what I'm saying? And it's like, why are you, you're
yeah.
putting yourself in this situation, but then you want, because you get the attention when you put yourself in that situation.
Yeah,
The
that's doing just
drama comes.
doing wild shit for attention. So
Uh
just
huh.
'cause they got to be seen, they got to be doing it, they got to be in
Hmm.
that spotlight. That's how they feel valuable or worth something when the spotlight is on them. Even if they go into a store over a normal little mishap, over they didn't give correct change at the when she went through there, and then now she got to flip the
Hmm.
table over in the damn store over that.
True.
That's
Exactly.
that's what that type of disorder does. And you say a lot of black women got that one.
Yeah, most of the black women mental health that I've dealt with were, had the cluster, had that borderline disorder. Yeah. So then you have that, like I said, we go back to antisocial. So this is why a lot of black men, we can, a lot of them are, that, they just doing harm to others. I mean, I'm not saying all of them, but
Yeah.
it's easily to do because they weren't valued They weren't valued as a child. So when you get older, you don't value nobody else because you don't know what that looks like to value something. You know what I mean? And then you have the social norm in America that the black man is basically nothing. You know, I always say it's America. It's like bashing the black man or talking trash about the black man is American culture. It's in American culture. People from other cultures will come here and just hate black men just because American culture hates black men. You see what I'm saying? It's all in their mind. It's all mental. You know what I'm saying? So it's so if other cultures don't value you, you weren't valued as a child, you're gonna have misplaced anger, and misplaced anger leads to you being destructive and doing things without learning about remorse and empathy.
Mm. Wow. Damn, I got a question that I'm sitting on here, but hold on. Well, Coach Ali's Corner says, shout out Bernard, Counselor Murray. Do you have a website?
Not yet. I'm starting to build that right now. I'm starting to build my channel too, because eventually I want to do some call-ins and because seeking therapy is considered weak in our community. So if
Oh
people
yeah.
can call up
Oh,
anonymously.
come on. You got a channel?
I got a YouTube channel. Yeah.
Drop the links. You got a wrench over here or not?
Do I have a who?
Do you have? If you got a wrench, you can drop the link, or if somebody
Yeah,
knows.
I got a
Okay,
wrench.
I couldn't remember if I gave you a wrench or not. Yes, Les, we got to start dropping that link. Yes, because you definitely doing the Lord's work as well. So we gotta get your channel promoted. I wasn't even thinking about that, whether or not you had a channel. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I gotta re up my channel because I've been sitting on it for so long and I've been waiting to really come out with some stuff. But
but you're out now. You're out now. We about to send you
uh,
some subs over there, so you got to get to work. You got to get to work.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely got to get to work. Thanks, Coach
Yeah.
Ali, for that super chat. Yeah, you got to get your channel and your website up, because the question that I was about to ask, would you say that a lot of the problems that we having in the black community that we just writing off, that was sort of the premise of the conversation, that we just writing
Yeah.
it off as just nigga shit, or them just some niggas that ain't shit, or them just some that's just some black female fuckery. What we really talking about is undiagnosed, some, I don't even know if to call it mental illness, but definitely just people just in need of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Because meds wouldn't necessarily help it, because it's, if it's a personality disorder, but therapy, like the amount of therapy that's needed in the black community, this I don't know if this would be out of your realm. If we
Mm-hmm.
look at the high amounts of crime, or just overall just lack of performance, would you say that therapy would be, the cure for a lot of that?
Yes, I would say therapy is definitely would make a major impact in our community because we're a culture that wants to hold stuff in. We're a culture that doesn't. We don't like sharing our business with other people. You know, we're very close knit. Family business stays with family. Um, so speaking with somebody about your issues without being judged, we're so scared of being judged. You know, when you talk about your problems, you're thinking, if I talk to my friends, they're gonna judge me. If I talk to my parents, they're gonna judge me of what's going on. If I talk to, um, let's say, a cousin or just any other family member, you're gonna feel like you're gonna be judged, and the person will judge you because the people who judge you the most are your family. You know what I mean? That's why you don't talk to your family about your relationship because they're going to judge the
Mhm.
other person more than you. So you can have a problem with a person that you're dealing with or dating, and you tell a family member about that person what they did to you, that family member is gonna hold the grudge longer than you hold the grudge because
Oh yeah.
exactly, because you're gonna forgive them and you're gonna move on, but that family member is going to keep that negative portrayal of that person.
Mm,
So speaking to a stranger is actually the best way to release all the anxiety and all the depression going on in your brain, because people who dwell on the past are usually some type of have some type of depression, and people who dwell on the future have some type of anxiety. So you have to release these thoughts to a professional, counselor, professional social worker, and we don't give advice. We just guide, or we assist you with making the decisions that that are best for your own well-being, your own health. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, unless you're going to you think about killing somebody or killing yourself, we don't really give advice. We sit back, we listen, and the more you talk about your problems and your situations, the more your brain works to come up with solutions on your own. You
mm.
know, the more you keep them up in your head, they just stay there like a storage unit. The more you actually release them and talk, the more you actually start thinking about ways to fix them. So definitely therapy is very beneficial, and I think our people in our community definitely need it.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's deep. That's deep. What about, like, for example, the impulses that come with, a lot of this. That's a factor in the equation too, because you talked about medication could help some people deal with the impulses, but as far as just an antisocial personality disorder, if I said it right,
Mm-hmm.
that's therapy. You need to sit down, need to talk to somebody, talk to a professional. But that person talking to that professional, but you mentioned the testosterone that a lot of that black men and black women have. We have more testosterone than the average than other races. That's just genetics. That's something that we can't, you know, do nothing about. That's because that's baked into the cake. And I think that probably has a lot to do with, people acting on impulse and everything. Like, so is it medication that deal with that, or can you just therapy out the impulses?
Mm-hmm. Therapy could definitely work with that. Medications definitely help with impulses too, because you basically it basically levels out your it levels out your cognitions within your brain. So
You said therapy levels out. Therapy will help with the impulses because it levels out the
mhm.
cognition in your brain.
Well, medication does when you think
Oh,
about chemical wise,
okay. All right,
it levels
gotcha.
that out. But the therapy is what helps you get to the point where you can actually start thinking about consequences. You start thinking about your past experiences and decisions you've made impulsively that have affected yourself in an unhealthy way. So it'll help you fix your thought process, because a lot of therapy is reframing your thought process, which is we do a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is basically your thoughts your thoughts manifest into your emotions, and then your emotions determine your actions. So your thought process will dictate how way you feel, and the way you feel will dictate how you react to it. You see what I'm saying? So it all revolves around your thoughts. Like, for example, let's say you got somebody who plays football or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm,
So if they're going into the game thinking I'm gonna miss this field goal,
mm-hmm.
that's their thought. I'm gonna miss this field goal. So the emotion that comes up would be disappointment, anxiety, um, different. I'm a failure. Those feelings will come. So that's going to dictate your action. You might a big percent of the outcome will be you missing that field goal. You see what I'm saying? So,
Mm.
but if you go into the game thinking I'm about to win this game, I'm gonna kick this field goal and make it. So your emotion would be feeling determined, confident, happy, and then most likely you're gonna make that field goal. So a lot of us need to reframe our negative thoughts and try to uh, take those thoughts and make them to a positive thought.
How much therapy is online nowadays? Because I do know somebody who was they were talking to a therapist, they were getting medication about something, and then when Corona hit, he said they basically just did it through like a Skype or Zoom or something like that. And I was like, I don't see why that just couldn't be a regular thing. Do you
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And the only reason
Mm-hmm.
I said that is because, when I think about, for example, Kevin Samuels, he's constantly recommending therapy,
Yeah.
and we have a therapist right here in the Black Manosphere, and I will be promoting your channel because, I'm just thinking that, a lot of people need help, and if you don't have to physically be in person to do it, then that's a good thing. I was just
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out how much of it takes place online, pre, during, and well, I know during Corona is mostly online, but pre-Corona,
Yes, sir.
how much of it was online?
Pre-corona, you had to go through a whole bunch of barriers to
Mhm.
be able to do that, the online therapy. But since corona they released a lot of those barriers and all that red tape kind of got unraveled.
Mhm.
So there's a website called betterhelp.com, and you can get you can match up with a therapist you want by demographic, by race, or whatever your preference is, because they're going to match you with therapist you want. It's called betterhelp.com, and they take insurance, and they take private payments too. So I mean, you can pay
Mm.
for your sessions, or the insurance will pay for it, and basically you can get a therapist who you can talk to. You can text them, they can FaceTime you. Um, in any way technology works, you be able to have access to them.
Mm. Okay, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Look like my battery about to die. I want to open this up for questions regarding the subject because I know we all either know somebody, or if you not you goddamn self dealing with some mental illness in your own life. You could yeah, definitely want to open this thing up for some questions. Yeah, I can come through, ask some questions, chop it up. You ain't got to do a whole layout. Don't try to come in here and lay out on the couch and do a full blown free therapy session. But but yeah, definitely. Yeah, the link is in the chat. People can come up and get some questions in. Because I know I probably didn't ask every necessary question. I saw some good stuff floating around in the chat room. So I'm definitely putting the link in there. And moderators periodically be dropping links to Counselor Murray's channel. I'm gonna
Amen.
try to push him to get to work, start dropping some content, some information on us, because folks like yourself are definitely valuable to this space. As a ex foster child whose dad died when I was a teen, it took me to my 30s to accept the fact that my mom never, oh my goodness, my mom never wanted me, out of despise from daddy. Bros accept. Damn. Thank you for that super chat.
Yeah.
I'm a Z. That's yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. You can respond to that if you want to, man. That's the thank you for the super chat. Thank you for sharing that, man. That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that, but sound like you're making made your peace with it. So that's good. You don't,
Hmm.
but yeah, you can go ahead and respond to that in any way you see fit.
Definitely keep find a good fit, a good therapist for you. And even though you've come to odds with that, and definitely keep working on that. It seems like there could be some misplaced emotions around that, and probably need to keep on trying to deal with that and resolve that, even though you say you're in your 30s and you found peace for it. But therapy is a long it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So
Mm.
just keep seeking treatment for that.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. All right, all right.
Shout out to Omar, the Hebrew Ishmaelite, whatever his name is. What do you keep talking about? I'm a pseudo therapist or pseudo this, that, third, and whatever. Oh, this guy. Oh, I saw him a couple. He always trolling. The troller.
Oh, the laws
Oh
of
yeah.
attraction can be confirmed. The human psychology is a lot more complex. Sports is more so muscle memory, not emotional cognition. Yeah,
Shout out to the troller, man.
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about there. But anyway, Hassani Ali in the building, or AKA Coach Ali of Coach Ali's Corner. What's going on, man?
Hey,
Man, I
brother.
can't call it, man. This is the first peace, brother. Council Murray, how are you?
Thank you, sir. Peace to you, brother.
Man, Bernard, this is the first night of sleep. I didn't have full 8 hours, man. We just had the baby a week ago, and so I'm finally
Oh,
catching up on sleep.
man, it'd be
We got a
like
newborn.
Yeah, this is the third.
Congratulations, sir.
congratulations on that. But every newborn I had for like those first 6 weeks to 2 months, this is gonna sound weird. They slept like a baby, like no
Really?
Uh-huh.
sound, not a peep. Just
You
slept
lying?
like they slept like 16 hours a day. At about that
Wow.
2.5 month mark, it was just hell. So all my kids, it was like peace for the first 2 months. They just slept all day. And then
Wow.
they just went wild after like the 2 month mark. So yeah, and then yours
That's what's up.
came right home yelling and screaming, huh?
Pretty much. Yeah, but he he's a cool kid, man. I can't even lie. We hung out yesterday because my wife had a water birth, and so she's upstairs resting. So I had all three of the boys, getting them to all get acclimated with each other. So it was cool. But I won't be on here very long. I just had a question for Councilor Murray, if I could proceed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
So, Councilor Murray, I know for a lot of us brothers in the community, we just won't accept counseling for
Mhm.
whatever reason. Either it depicted as weak, maybe it's not an option for us. Whatever the reasons may be. So, as Black men in general, how can we be more supportive of brothers going through something, or being able to show more sympathy or empathy for brothers who are going through something? Because a lot of us don't have a support system. And so how can we, help other brothers out who may not go to counseling, but still looking for, you know, that support from somebody without being judged?
Got you. We definitely have to start changing the culture around therapy with Black men. I'm gonna tell you, I had experience, right? So I had he was 17. I had a 17-year-old client, right? So he was dating a, a girl in high school or whatever. So she sent him some pictures that were X-rated, whatever. So his impulses, his anger led him to share these pictures on the internet. So what happened was I went to court with him because they charged him with uh, spreading child porn. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
basically, so I'm in court, right? And it's a a Black woman judge, it's a Black woman bailiffs all over the place, right? And I'm in there, and uh every a defendant that came up was a Black man. The whole time we was in court was a Black man, and was for domestic violence. So uh every case was a Black man being accused of physically attacking their significant other. And I'm sitting back and I'm like, if these guys would just go to therapy, talk about their issues with anger, a lot of this misplaced anger too. You know, a lot of it in our community with black men are misplaced anger. They're angry at things um, that happened to them in their past. They're angry at uh, them not being able to deal with certain situations. So what they do is they release it on other people. So we have to, if we're going to get black men to go to therapy, we got to talk about how most of us are black men are incarcerated due to not being able to control these impulses and to um, basically encourage them that it's okay. I've been, people need to say, I've been to therapy, so you should, you need to, it's okay if you go to therapy. It's better to go to therapy than being locked up for not being able to control your impulses and your emotions. You know, and that's something a man has to do. Women are able to, uh, you know, um, they're allowed to not be able to control their emotions, but men, we don't have that choice. You can see with all the stuff going on with the police. If we act out in certain ways when the police are involved, we're held accountable. We're the most held accountable people in the United States. The black man, we're most held accountable. So if we're the most held accountable, whatever we do, they're going to magnify the action and pretty much help hold us accountable for everything that we're doing. So we have to learn how to control these emotions and impulses, and the best way to do it is through therapy. And if we do that, then we can see the numbers of incarceration go down because since the hospitals um, don't really take in the mental health right now, the jail system and the prison system is basically the biggest mental health hospitals we got in the country. So if we can get these treatments done in the community, we can prevent, and the incarceration rates of us, at this point. So we have to make it a norm in our community to go see the therapist. And if we can get the churches play a big part in our community. I saw some research recently that 52% of Black Americans live in the South. So the South is big on church, the Bible Belt. So mostly our culture grew up in the church down in the South. So if we can get the churches on board with promoting more mental health, then we can, do a lot of beneficial things within our community.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Ricardo Rodney, thank you for that super chat. Appreciate that. And my man, Mr. came through with a heavy-handed super chat. I appreciate that. Okay, I had to double check, make sure you was a moderator. He says Bernard is hitting today. Can you bring him back for a part 2? Yeah, this may be a regular or semi-regular thing because I'm definitely
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff, man. I couldn't even get to today, but yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. We definitely going to be doing this. And also, Sugar G, thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I don't got my phone on me, so I can't hear it ring right when you do it. But I've been periodically checking my emails. So, and there it is. My camera just went down on me. Camera died on the job, but I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. But thank you, Sugar G, for that Cash App. I appreciate that. Coach Ali, you got another question or just a follow up to what Consular Murray just went over?
Pretty much. I'm gonna drop off after this. Counselor Murray, I think I just added you on Facebook, so I'm gonna reach out to you and get your Cash App just to show you some support. But yeah, absolutely. And basically, we need more brothers like you. In this space, you say, Brother Bernard doing his thing. We got a lot of people who are on the internet beating their chest as
Mhm.
a cry for help, and you're
Yes, sir.
seeing you're seeing it in these spaces. You know what I mean? When we're talking about relationships and dating and marriage and MGTOW and all these different components, but a lot of it is stemming from people just needing to gain clarity on what's going on. But I encourage for you to start make yourself more visible, make that YouTube channel, start creating that content so we can start sending brothers to you, because a lot of us do need it. Even if it's not a traumatizing experience that we've had, we still need someone to go to, to help, clear our heads, or help us gain clarity on something. And so, we definitely need more brothers like you out here. I really appreciate what you're doing, and hopefully we can get to see more of you on the main stage and start helping some of these brothers out. And I'll drop off.
Thank you,
Absolutely.
sir. Yes, sir. I definitely agree with all that. And I would say, Bernard, your show is very therapeutic for me. I mean, I mean, I didn't know there was a space where black men could come in and talk about challenges going on with them. So you're basically doing therapy yourself. You're doing it. You're helping. I mean, the whole manosphere is very therapeutic. I shout out everybody in the manosphere. I support mostly everybody in the manosphere, even if they beefing. I'm still going to each other. I'm
Right,
still
right,
going to
right.
battles, supporting them. I just want to thank the manosphere for even thank you for having me on here, and I want to thank the manosphere for just being here, because that's why I support so much, because we got to keep this going. We got to grow it. Black men need a space, to express themselves.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I'm glad to hear that I could be a little therapeutic to a therapist. That's nice. That's nice to hear. Shout out to Mace Taggart. I think that's Mace Taggart that said he be going through dialysis in the morning. Said he be listening to my show in the morning while he going through his dialysis. That be getting him through. So yeah, I'm glad to be of service. Glad to be of service.
Sure,
We
doing therapy out here, man. No matter if you have a license or not, man. Everybody's helping.
Royce J in the building. What's going on, brother? Royce J, you on mute?
Hey,
Mute, man.
hey, hey. Yeah, sorry about that. What's up, gentlemen? What's up? Peace to
Hey, what's
everybody
up,
on the
sir?
panel.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how you guys doing today?
Good, man.
Doing good, doing great,
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, hey Bernard, we had this talk about therapy last week,
good. Yeah, that
man.
is true. That is true. He was talking about PTSD and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I make it no secret. I am a career military person, combat veteran, got a couple of combat tours up under me, and I also work in public service, and so PTSD is
Hello.
You kind of fading. You kind of fading, Royce. You kind of fading. Royce, I'm gonna give you a second to try to figure out what's going on with your connection there. So I'm gonna pass the mic to Complex. And my mic sound is confusing.
Mm.
Yeah, you all
hey,
wrong. You all wrong.
Salute to
okay,
him, though. I want
is
to
that
salute
better?
him because he just by being in the military and know, being PTSD runs very deep in veterans, and veterans they really don't get the assistance they need. A
No.
lot of more money should be pushed to veterans in that PTSD. A lot of a lot of the veteran population are homeless. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I'm not saying most of the veteran population is homeless. I'm gonna say when I meet a homeless, when I work with the homeless, a lot of them are vets. Let's say that
Mm.
due
Yeah.
to the mental health they acquired while being out in service for the country.
Right. Complex design. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, you guys? Can you hear me?
Complex,
Yeah,
how's it going, brother?
we can hear you, but you're a little low. If you can increase your volume a little bit, that'd be great.
Hold on, let me see. Okay, how about now?
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Oh
What's going
shit,
on? What you got?
still out my ear. Damn it. Okay. Hey, I really truly appreciate you guys doing this live stream.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
yeah. You know, one of the things that have kind of weighed heavy on my mind is like the effects of my daughter losing her mom at a young age.
Mm.
Right. Now I found that with myself, I had to do like a lot of self-diagnosis. I had to do a lot of like book reading, and because there's not a lot of like resources out there for like men who become widows with children, right? Like there was like there's literally nothing out there. So it was for me, I found that like with my own sort of what I had to do was basically reinvent myself, you know, and I had to do it in such a way where I was able to be like the father that I needed to be for my daughter, even though, you know, I was grieving like a motherfucker, you know what I mean? And I couldn't really imagine what was going through her head, you know, because she was 3 at the time. But I always kind of projected that there's going to be a time here in the future where she's going to start to become a young lady, and that's where her, you know, her mother's presence is gonna, that's where it's gonna show itself. And I'm kind of starting to see that now because she'll be 9 in next month,
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
right? So you know, and I spoke at length with Dr. Phoenix privately about, I think what it was called ACE, was it something, childhood experience, what was it, adverse childhood experiences?
Where is this? Yep.
Yeah. So Dr. Phoenix has talked to that actually at length on the Black Brain Trust, and you know, it's something that it's really just been on my mind. And you know, I guess maybe that's my question is, because I don't have a whole lot of time. My question is though, you know, what would, just generally, what's kind of like the line of, I guess you could say, advice, right,
Mm-hmm.
for kind of something that I'm kind of seeing on the horizon here.
Okay, for your daughter, like treatment, or what could you do as her father?
Yeah. I mean, because obviously I can't be her mom, right?
Yeah, of
You
course.
know, and I
Uh,
can't. There's going to be certain things. You know, it's much like how we say, well, women can't raise men.
true,
Right,
true.
right now, I'm finding out. You know, I already kind of knew it, but it's more of an experience thing, right? Like, you know, I can't raise. There's certain things I, as a man, cannot communicate to a little girl.
Mm-hmm. Has
Right.
has
So
she
I
did
guess
she
how do
bring her?
you,
Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying, how do you deal? You know, like how do you?
Definitely. Did she bring up her mom?
No, not really.
You said she was young, right? 3.
Yeah, because she's already spent the majority of her life without her, and
Mm-hmm.
even when she was little, she knew mommy was sick, so she was always on
Mm-hmm.
me, right? I'm her, you know, I'm her rock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am literally like, it's like daddy's girl type of thing, where, you know, where she just loves her daddy because she knew mommy was ill, and so you know she kind of interacted with her when my wife could. There was a time when my wife was kind of in remission, and she was able
Mm-hmm.
to kind of really sort of play that nurturing role for about a year and a half. So she was about 2.5, you know, and then from there the illness took, and then, you know, it was really just kind of like, okay, well, mommy's not doing well, so daddy take care of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of how it kind of played itself out up to this point.
Do you bring up her mom to her?
I do, I do.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, man, it's that's kind of where I'm like, shit, okay, like, because she kind of just like, oh, okay, yeah, my mom.
Yeah, because as she gets older, she's gonna interact with other kids who have their mom present. So
Right.
she said she's 9, so she's gonna start investigating a little more.
Mhm.
You know, and no matter what age, we all go through the same grief cycle. You know, we're in denial first, and I'm sure you went through this cycle too when your wife passed away. You have denial, you got anger, you go through the depression, you go through a bargaining stage, in the bargaining stages, you're trying to replace her with something, and then you will go to your acceptance stage. You
Yep.
probably, yeah, you probably already have been through that.
I done went through all of it, man. I'm about
Mhm.
6 years in, man. Every phase of that what you just said, I can think back to what I was doing at that time.
Hmm. And your daughter gonna go. She went through the same thing. She's 3. She just can't communicate it. She was
Right,
young.
right.
So what I would do is, like you said, I would bring up, the mother often, and maybe link her to um, some type of girls group or something going on in your area.
I had her in cheerleading, man, and
Cheerleading,
it
okay.
that
Cheerleading
just
coaches.
yeah, and it had a change. It did have a drastic change on her, man. This was last summer, and she was excited to do it this year.
Hmm.
They had one training camp. She was excited. Then COVID hit.
Oh, COVID. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, COVID
COVID
hit.
stopped all that socialization. Yep.
Hmm.
Everything stopped, bro. Everything stopped, man.
You definitely see that. They have some groups that are online too. I mean, I would get her into some type of uh, counseling group with girls with similar situations. I mean, if you can find some. Complex, you in California, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you got plenty of resources out there. I mean, that's like the haven for mental health right there. They got so many resources. Now, have you seen anything change in her behaviors or anything drastic?
mm, I mean, it's not
Kind of
like
been on a baseline her whole life.
um, like I said, man. It's just kind of like I'm imagining, I guess if a girl grows up without her mother, this is kind of how
Yeah.
it goes. And all I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to ensure the best outcome given, what we've already got.
And you got puberty hits in a couple years, so she's gonna
Exactly.
start asking questions
Exactly.
about that.
Mm.
Exactly.
Is there a classmate who has a mother that you feel safe that she can hang out with, or
Dude,
get.
we're all distance learning and
Oh yeah, we forgot we got COVID.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
But when if COVID opens up, or it'll be nice to link her to like a friend of hers who has a strong mom who you trust, that she can
yeah,
reach out to.
I have a friend like that. I mean, we don't live close. We're in California. We're in Southern California, but we don't live close.
Yeah.
So, she's somebody that I do, keep in close contact with because she does kind of have those strong sort of, you know, and she's very motherly too. So,
Hmm.
it's like when I can, we do try to like link up and what have you. But just by and large, man, like this COVID shit really just changed a lot, you know. So
Yeah, COVID changed a lot.
yeah, but
I'll definitely
I
recommend that.
say that again. I'm sorry.
No, so I'll definitely recommend something like that, or like a sometimes Zoomer in. If I would really listen. I mean, I'm sure you're doing it now, but just listen to your daughter, and actually watch her behavior patterns.
Yeah, I mean, and she's. I mean, like a few years ago, like she used to be on this. Well, I don't even want to say a few years ago, but what she does is every so often, maybe like every 6 months or so, she'll kind of indicate to me that like she wants like another mother, right?
Mm,
Or it's
Oh
like,
okay.
wow.
daddy, when are you gonna get a lady friend and stuff like that. And I don't
Okay.
know if that's sort of like her way, or she's just kind of like, yeah, I'm just kind of sick of you just working and working on shit in the garage and just yeah, okay. Can you do a little something else with your life? So I don't know, man. Maybe she's actually in reverse trying to be my goddamn therapist. Who knows?
Yeah, she probably has some concerns for you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And she is, man, she's like nurturing of me. So sometimes I think
good.
I might actually be projecting on her, and
Mhm.
she might actually have far more intuition. And I'm not, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, this shit keeps me up at night. But hey, I got
Mhm.
to clock in for work, man. I just appreciate y'all, man. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there.
Thank you,
All right.
Complex. And
Yep.
I come through your page sometimes too. I mean your channel.
Oh,
So
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man.
yes, sir.
Yep. Thanks, Complex. Yeah.
All right.
Anybody want to hear? Cause me and Complex did a one-on-one a while back when my channel was smaller.
Mhm.
His logo is in the thumbnail, so it should be fairly easy to find. I forgot what it was called, but just scroll down to. Damn, I think Royce got some background noise. Let me mute that. Yeah, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, just scroll on down when you see Complex's name in the thumbnail, then that's the one where me and Complex did a one-on-one. Basically, we're talking about, the situation with him losing his wife. It was a told a very intimate story, and yeah, all the ladies in the chat was crying, all the guys in the chat was pretending not to cry. It was pretty deep. It was pretty deep. It was one of my best streams. I've had a lot of classics, but that was one that still I still rank that as one of my best ones. It's near the bottom. Just scroll on the way. Just scroll on down there if you want to go hear that story full and in its entirety. Yeah, but
Check that out.
yeah, damn, it was something else that oh yeah, SKC was trying to get is well no, here's a question. Is your email on your YouTube channel?
It's
Is it in
definitely in the video descriptions.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
or put it in the about section because I know I dropped a link to your YouTube channel, so hopefully SKC wanted to contact you about something. So I was
Okay.
trying to I don't know, I was trying to forward him your information, but I mean if you dropped your YouTube channel in the chat, then he should be able to get it from there. Oh shit, you just hit me. Oh, and Complex hit me with a
Yeah,
cash app, and you just hit me
yeah, I appreciate
with a super chat while you're up here. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That's what's up.
appreciate this. This is a very topic that needs to be, talked about more often in our community. So I just appreciate you letting me come up here and do this.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. No, we'll do this again. We'll do this again. What before we head up out, we can more or less head up out of here. Royce J, do you got anything else? Any other questions you want to hit Consular
Uh,
Murray with?
well, not so much questions, but just compliments, man. Council Murray, I appreciate what you're doing. As far as pushing the whole narrative of black men seeking therapy and just your take on what the manosphere is a big part of it, because I think once you get past all of the niggerisms on
Figurism.
all the niggatry and niggerism on the manosphere, really the whole intention of the space was to vent and to be a space where guys can put out their experiences and talk about ways of understanding what they're going through and possibly figuring out how to deal with situations better going forward. And so when we have people in the space like you who talk about therapy, people like
Mm-hmm.
myself, who I talk about therapy and resiliency on my channel, people like
I need
Kevin
to
Samuels
come
who
to your
push,
channel then. Yep.
yeah, and then you got Bernard who, he has a forum where a lot of ideas and discussions about therapy can be brought to the forefront. It brings the space back to a part that it needs, and that's great. And then you being a professional in um, psychological services, I think a lot more black men need to see that it's okay to get therapy. It's okay to get the to use medications to help balance out, your chemical imbalances in your brain and stuff. See, because like you mentioned, there are a lot of black men, there are a lot of black people who they have a negative view of psychological medication, and we are the people, even though I'm not ADOS, we're the
Mm-hmm.
people that need it most,
We are.
Yeah, we need it most. I deal with people on a day-to-day basis. When you talk to them, and you go, yeah, this person definitely probably needs some meds, and just with the stress that a lot of people are born into, you need some guidance, and you need sometimes some chemical assistance to get through what you're going through. And a lot of people, a lot of black people don't see it that way, but they don't realize that they are self-medication through they're self-medicating through food, through illicit substances, through sex, a lot of things like that, and because they don't have the guidance to use the things that they are using to chemically treat their imbalances. They don't realize that a big part of their health problems is because they're not on the proper medications, and therefore the chemicals that they are using um, are killing them, and they don't realize it. So,
Mm-hmm.
man, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate what all you guys are doing with this. And like I said on my channel, I talk about this a lot.
Uh-huh.
I'm a pretty big critique, a pretty big critic of some of the stuff that's going on in the manosphere, some of the stuff that's going on with a lot of the guys. Where I understand it, but then my whole thing is like, all right, now what? Okay, you say these bitches ain't shit, all of this stuff. Yep, I understand. So now what? Let's get past that. And that's therapy. Let guys talk about it. Let them desensitize to it, and then build the resiliency part. So, man, I appreciate your part in doing things like that, gentlemen.
True, and I appreciate you tuning in. And I was gonna say, you brought up a big thing when you said sex, okay? Because when people think about, you got to think about dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical for pleasure, right? So a lot of
Yes.
people are walking around undiagnosed with depression. So when you see these people who, a lot of people just crave, they're having wild, risky sex. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this is just self medication, man. And music too. Music is
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
biggest. Music is one of the biggest I won't say substance, but one of the most addictions that we have as a culture, and as black and other cultures too. Um, People can't do nothing without music. I mean, you wake up in the morning, people got music on. You go into the store, you got music. You're at the gym, you got music. I mean, it's a very addictive thing, and people don't see it as that because it's kind of harmless. But
Mhm.
I mean, that might be a whole nother, show I'll come on here and do just about music and addiction. To
Man, that
Mm.
music, that music piece, I hit that one last year on my channel, showing people, basically explaining how it's a form of spell casting.
Mhm.
That when and liken it to just trying to show the practical side of what we call magic, which is really programming, and how music is, when you look at it, it's a form of spell casting when you look at it in a practical sense. When you get beyond what you see as far as the traditional Disney type stories, and the Christian Brothers stories of witches and warlocks and things like that, and magic and mages. You had, my thing was is breaking stuff like that down into a practical sense, that music is a form of spell casting, and what you just brought up about it being a form of medication,
Mhm.
that's huge, and people, especially us blacks in here in America, we need to understand that it's a form of medicine, but it's also a form of control. So now you got to look at what kind of music you're taking in, the frequencies, the messages, all of that stuff. You can't just you can't just go by stuff just because it's a good beat, because you're being broadcast certain messages that you don't see it. It's not obvious, but if you keep running the same thing, it's doing some programming behind the scenes, and before you know it, your thought processes have been shaped because this music has been used as programming and medication to steer you in certain directions. So, man, that's huge.
Yes, sir.
That's huge. Well, hey, Bernard, I'm gonna drop off, man. I
Oh yeah,
appreciate
no
I
doubt.
appreciate you letting me on, bro.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Anytime. Appreciate you coming up. Cool Gen 87. Thanks for the super chat. Appreciate that. And SW1, you are right. The stream was ending. I was just gonna stretch it out to the 3 hour mark. I think it's 12 noon right now, so I came on at 9:10. 9:10 a.m. EST. So that means 12:10 p.m. EST would be the ending of the show. So I'm putting the link in the chat. Anybody else want to come up real quick and briefly, but I'll close it right at 3 hours. So you was not wrong when you said you thought it was ending. You were not wrong. You were not wrong. It is ending. Just giving a little bit more time. And here we go. Chaos Rain about to come up and ask a very coherent question.
Well, actually, it's not really coherent.
But
But
we talking about therapy and all that shit. Chaos about to come up here with a long-winded question out of nowhere. I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
Be honest with you, Bernard, I missed a good portion of the stream. What's the brother's name again? Is he a psychologist?
Counselor Murray, yes, he's a professional counselor.
Professional counselor, yeah, not
psychologist. Oh, yeah, counselor. Okay. Damn. Well, everything in the description and in this video, I might have to hit him up on the email. Cause I did like a series on therapy, but I never did look into the counseling part of things because this is my thing with Black people. If we're gonna really get this shit together, we had to get ourselves mentally really fixed. Because wherever the mind is, the body has to follow.
Yep.
And all these traumas that we experience, either centuries, genetically, or whatever we want to call it, it still plagues us today because we still enact our behaviors towards each other and, in all aspects of our lives. And people understand why we can't really get together, why we can't prosper or move forward, because you're still dealing with some unkept traumas, Hell, look at the mess. We it's designed because of, some of us gone from trauma with our own mothers, possibly, So a lot of things have played. I mean, some, but you get my meaning. Yeah, I'm not gonna go, but a lot of things has played because of the mindset of our people. So I cold-hearted tell people that, we all do need some form of therapy, one way or the other, because it's gonna show, And a lot of people don't want to admit it because they want to avoid it. They feel that I can go to church, pray away. I said, no, nigga. Go save some money. Go to a fucking counsel, or a therapist. Check what is the real problem and move on from there. Don't sit there and feel that you're going to pray that shit away. That shit ain't going to work. Stop it. You're telling yourself, because people think overall that you're crazy. Well, shit. How you think the world is running the way it is? Because it make people backwards and crazy. So you think keep operating the same way it's normal? No. So yeah, I'll probably hit you up, Mr. Council Murray, to probably have you on a few shows.
Appreciate you, Chaos.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually want to do something with you too as well, Council Murray, because I think me and you can hit that PTSD part, and therapy part. I think we can do a double whammy on that. You, myself, and what's his name, G Dizzle. I think we can hit that part, talking about the importance of it very well, man. So yeah, same here, bro.
And they got
I'm definitely open to that.
They got the jokes in the chat. Said, but I like to be Kanye West, brother. I used to dress like 2004 Kanye. I used to rock, the jeans and the blazer and all of that. I used to kind of bite his style. I used to dress like that. And here we go. This motherfucker. Okay. Said Bernard looked like Demo from Fight for New York. You keep dropping names I don't even recognize. You just come in with I don't even know who y'all. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But all right, we almost about to wrap it up. About to wrap it up in 6 minutes. We got Sir Tice in the building. Thanks for the super chat
Oh, brother Sir Tice.
and the thanks for the super chats and the insults, everybody. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's all love. It's all love. But go ahead, Sir Tice. You got the mic. We got like 5 minutes on the clock, and we getting up out of here.
No, that's cool. Give me time to plug my appearance later on, but I want to first give a salute to the brother Counselor Murray. Matter of fact, a little brief funny story. I was talking to this one dude on Facebook back and forth just in chat because we were in the same group and shit. And after 2 months, I'm like, wait a minute, you Counselor Murray. It was just kind of funny, like minds and sorts. Somebody had just mentioned something about dopamine. And I've been and I know YouTube is social media of sorts, but it's not like Instagram or definitely not like Facebook. And I've been off of Facebook for about a month and a half, man. And I feel great. And I highly recommend people take break from these social media networks or what have you, because they artificially increase your dopamine within you. Whether somebody says something that pisses you off or something that you like, you look at the notifications and shit like that, and your body gets kind of out of whack of sorts.
Man, you right on point with that. I mean, every like it increases that dopamine. That's why you see, the people on social media seeking all that attention, because they wake up every morning, they see all these likes and they see all these comments, and people in their inbox and DMs. That just increases their dopamine to the point where, they're addicted to it. So right. You brought up a very good point with social media, man. Social media is definitely very addictive.
Yeah. Hey, man, great points you made. Great points you made earlier today, and we need more of this. So I really salute you and salute to you, Bernard, in presenting this. By the way, I'm going to be doing a presentation on fasting on Teapot's channel tonight. So,
okay, cool.
I saw that. I'm gonna tune in for that.
Yeah. I
was over there last night, and he mentioned you'll be on tonight.
Yep. So you'll see a lot of the connections. You were mentioning things about Ritalin, and I forget another drug you mentioned, but there's a lot of correlation between how the attention spans are very limited nowadays with children as opposed to a previous time in history. But I'll be trying to drop those connections. Again, just wanted to say what's up to you guys, and just a great show. I had to be in a meeting most of it. So thanks again for letting me on, and great appearance again, Counselor Murray.
Thank you, sir.
Right. All right. Yeah, we about to get up out of here. You talking about you about to do something on fasting. I'm about to go eat some bacon when we get up off.
Well, hey, brother, you skip breakfast. That's the most important thing, So you
didn't trigger all the Muslims and the Hebrews in the comment section.
Oh, I'm about to eat the whole damn pig. God damn it!
See,
they're falling out.
You should have said turkey bacon.
You know what? I can do turkey sausage. Turkey sausage is a good substitute for regular sausage, but turkey bacon can't fuck with. It ain't nowhere in the building with regular bacon. I'm sorry.
I didn't do the swine, but I got you, man. Listen, you'll enjoy it, man. But y'all have a good afternoon.
All right, man. Yeah, I'll stop by, check you out on Teapot tonight. But with that said, fellas, we got to get up out of here. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in, everybody who liked, share, subscribe, everybody who hit the Cash App, and thank everybody who subscribed to Counselor Murray. We're going to try to, definitely support this brother. He's doing the Lord's work, and he actually brought something good that I thought about. I wasn't sure if it was true. It was just something circulating in my head, but he kind of confirmed it, that a lot of the shit that's going on, whether we talking about the high crime rates or lack of performance or whatever we calling it going on with Black people, therapy is something that's we say that casually, but that could be the call that could be far more important than what most of us realize, and it's probably more of us needed than what there are even therapists to or counselors to counsel the shit out of people. And, it's probably not even enough counselors, let alone Black counselors, for all the Black people that need it. When he went through that list, I do want to revisit that and look at that again, but because so much covered. He said he got more to cover, so we will be doing shows on this regularly or semi-regularly, so be looking out for it. But I'd like to thank everybody who came through. And with that said, we are out of here. Peace.